Live and local, it's time for Fan Sports Sunday. If the weekend is a big desert for sports talk, think of this show as an oasis.
Yes, here we go.
Come drink from our pool of hot takes as you quench your thirst with. I thought I was going somewhere, but I'm not. So let's just start the show.
All right, look, I know the dude on the other side of the glass. I'm Tito. Other side of the glass, Jacob Ryan. The guy to my right has been avoiding me lately. I don't know the last time I saw you, DeVier Posey.
It was probably sometime in January.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a while.
I'm starting to think it's intentional by you.
No.
I think you said, I don't want to work with Tito.
That's not the case.
All right.
So here's the thing. Football season, national championship run.
Yep.
Our team was committed.
Yes.
Tito, it takes the media to be committed, and I was part of that team that was committed. There's some Warriors here I got to give shout-outs to. Obviously, Matty Ice and Roth and Tim Hall. Tim Hall picked up an extra duty this year. Mm-hmm. We've all been seeing his impact and how great that's been to work with him. But he grinded this national championship season. Obviously, Man and Bone do their thing. But, that pregame show, man, I didn't take any days off, man.
I know.
I went the time I took a show off, I was at the national championship. So I've been taking my vacation time.
So a couple of things happened. One thing happened during On the Money. And another thing happened just now. Eddie George named, it could be, according to sources, head coach at Bowling Green. Eddie George, Bowling Green. The other thing just happened, by the way. Myles Garrett re-upped with the Browns for a 3-year deal, averaging more than $40 million a year.
Oh, man.
Myles Garrett, wants to play for a winner.
Who was out of the door. He said, do not talk to me.
Yep, don't do it.
You guys aren't making moves in this organization that I believe are going to put me in position to win a championship. I want to go compete for a championship. But if you offer me $40 million a year.
Right.
Berea, Ohio doesn't sound too bad.
$123.5 million in guaranteed money for him. So, I'm not sure how long the extension is yet. I haven't got all the details on it yet. I just know it averages $40 million a year. This is according to ESPN. Averages $40 million a year, $123 guaranteed. Maybe winning is not most important. I'm not ripping the guy. I'm not ripping him. I'm saying, but if you're going to say winning's important to me, I want to win a Super Bowl more than anything else. That's what's important to me.
Tito, don't decode that on the radio because here we are a Browns affiliate station.
I know we are.
I want you guys to know that. I want you to know we support the Browns. Jeff Thidoff, he does not.
No.
He is all about that team that's east on 70 Highway.
We will have Chris McNeil on later on, though. He is reflog_18 on Twitter. He is one of the biggest Browns fans you'll ever meet, and we're going to talk to him later on. And I guess that now this news right here makes it more interesting. But coming into the show today, DeVier, I was, much like Scotty Vegas talked about, a little bit like, oh, God, the Buckeye men lost. Buckeye women got blown out by UCLA. It's going to be a sad start to the show. But then we get the news about Eddie George being named head coach at Bowling Green. And by the way, Reimer, you don't know this, but I just found out. DeVier Posey, wide receivers coach Bowling Green, right?
Hey, no. That is a false top. That is false narrative.
Feels natural, doesn't it?
No.
I think it'd be a good fit.
No,
I think it would be too. Get DeVier out there as a wide receivers coach.
Hey, listen, I'm all about Eddie being in the MAC. And here's the thing about the MAC conference. I am a MAC guy. I'm all about MACtion on Tuesdays and Thursdays. My team of choice in the MAC is the Ohio Bobcats. Obviously, I was a big fan. My brother played there. Tito, I used to practice at Ohio State. We would do physical Tuesdays. Those were like normally pad days. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't hot tub, wouldn't cold tub post-practice.
Right.
And I would drive down to OU, try and catch my brother's warm-ups, be on the field and stuff. Like, I really like the MAC. And Eddie being in the MAC, you talk about the type of players that came out of the MAC during that time when my brother played. It's a development it's a developmental like college level in terms of the portal now, right? Like where you can go and get value in the third and fourth round of Antonio Brown back then, Muhammad Wilkerson from
Watt,
Temple,
right? It was a Watt. No, who's the one with the Mac? It was there's another guy.
JJ Watt was
JJ Watt, okay,
but he transferred up. But now the portal is being used as like we can go and find great players who are ready to play at a high level at high level D1. So Eddie being here in Ohio and being able to, I would say, grab those 2 and 3 and maybe grab a 4-star, high school Ohio player. He knows about Ohio high school football, and it's just going to make the MAC better. And I'm super happy for Eddie and his family to be back home.
This seems to me, and look, I'm thinking way future. When I first heard this, so what I thought of first was like into the future. I don't know how long Ryan Day is going to be here. Who knows what happens with Heartline, how long he's here, if he goes somewhere else, whatever. But Eddie George making this progression, if he has success at Bowling Green, which I totally expect he will, it puts him in the conversation for someday being an Ohio State head coach. Urban went that route. There's been guys have gone through the route, like the way the MAC has been like a stepping stone for some player or some former players to become coaches somewhere. Some coaches become head coaches in the MAC, being head coaches somewhere else. It at least, and I'm not saying he's the next head coach of Ohio State. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 5-10 years, whatever it is. But the progression of it, though, I think at least gets Eddie into the conversation.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not ready to think about life after Ryan Day.
Me either. Yeah, me either. Yep. No.
So, but I know it's a reality, right? And at some point there will be a lot of candidates that I think played at Ohio State. Eddie was a great player, but I think if you think about into the future and then looking at crystal ball, whenever that is, whenever Ryan Day decides to hang it up, I mean, you'll have a mature Hardline that'll probably still be in coaching. You have a mature James Laurinaitis.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
Who knows where Marcus Freeman will be at that time in his career? Vrabel's out there. Eddie's out there. There's an abundance of names. But I'm just happy that hat got put in the closet after we hung another national championship. And we don't have to really revisit that stuff. So,
yep, I'm with you on that. I agree with you. And that's what I say. I don't know how long it will be, if ever, like when it'll happen, but eventually Ryan Day will be gone at some point, either by his own choice or whatever. But and the way that he's going about this, as far as like his success at Tennessee State, coming in there really no experience at all, had success there, led him to the playoffs this past year, and then now going to Bowling Green, has a chance to do something well there. We'll see what happens. Ohio State men yesterday, by the way, basketball had a must-win. They did not win. They lost Indiana 66-60 in Bloomington. Ohio State now 17-14, finished the season 9-11 in the Big Ten, going into the tournament. They'll go into the 10 seed now. I think they need DeVier to win at least two to be on the bubble for the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been in must-win situations, and you're talking about in the tournament. Yeah, we gotta advance a bit. So. Tito, when's tip-off? We're coming up. So my birthday is Friday. The best part about my birthday is March Madness. Yeah. So I don't know if you're a Future, the rapper fan, but he has a song called March Madness. It's one of my favorite songs. So,
really?
Yeah. Like this is the best time of the year. If you're celebrating Friday for me, thank you. You don't have to. I appreciate it.
It's a national holiday.
But looking forward to seeing some Big Ten basketball and hey, we got hot last year. We those 2 wins out of the gate.
Yeah,
Diebler. And here's the thing: there's a possibility that Diebler could be a mini Izzo and have like a tournament side of him that just gets ignited, and he knows how to game plan on back-to-back days. And
right,
he could be that guy because we saw that from him last year in the tournament. It
is disappointing though that they've lost some of these games that we thought they would win. And there's the Pitt game early in the year, the Northwestern debacle here. That was another one. You start looking back and thinking, man, if they don't make it, it's because of this or this or this. But right now, though, it looks like Ohio State will be the 10 seed in the Big Ten tournament. Now, they're going to play the 15 seed, top 15 get in the Big Ten. So 16, 17, 18 out. So Ohio State's going to play the worst seeded team in the Big Ten tournament on Wednesday, USC, it looks like. And then if they win that one, they'll probably take on Illinois after that. I think Ohio State's got to win both those games to have a shot. And the women's team, by the way, who knows about them? They got blown out by UCLA yesterday in Indianapolis. UCLA is playing USC now for the Big Ten championship later on today. But Ohio State women, it's such a huge thing, DeVier. If you're a top 4 seed, one of the top 4s in one region, you get to host the first 2 rounds. If they end up being a 5 seed, it's a big detriment to this team. They still might be able to sneak it as a 4. We'll see. But Alabama losing, I think Alabama's women's team lost the other day in a bad loss, which might push them back and push Ohio State up. But the game at UCLA was disappointing to watch because it seemed like UCLA just controlled that game completely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and they're hot. I mean, it's you talk about UCLA and USC just coming in the Big Ten in their first year and having a great dominant year. You start to feel with the departure of Caitlin Clark that the Big Ten is going out west until further notice.
Yeah, I think we should have kept the women's basketball out of the Big Ten. Like let them stay out there in the Pac-12 or whatever.
Man.
I'm okay with the football and men's basketball. Okay with all those things, but on the women's side, let's just maybe tap the brakes on that one because USC and UCLA. It's a different breed. It's a different game that they're bringing.
Well, and then honestly, they were recruiting a different type of high school athlete than our Big Ten players were. So now, Scott McGuff and company, we need to grab some LA kids, some Washington kids and Seattle. And it's you can see the talent discrepancy in terms of the players they've had just that were built for the Pac at that time, which is a historical basketball conference, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. All right, coming up next, the Ohio State football coaches spoke to the media. We'll hear what they revealed next. We'll do that. Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and all right, somebody cue up the wedding bells because I just hit my wedding weight. Down 56 pounds with Awaken 180, and I officially weigh the same as the day I said I do. What's even crazier was how fast I took off what probably took me 6-7 years to put on. Only 3 months in, and I've made a complete 180. We cracked open the wedding album to compare, and yes, I'm looking the same that I did 7 years ago. Although be it a few more gray hairs with a 2-year-old running around, that tends to happen. I'm not done, though. Once you learn how easy losing weight can actually be with Awaken 180, your goals, they start to get bigger. Wedding weight, yeah, I hit that, but why not see what it feels like, what it looks like to be at my ideal weight? All goals start shifting. Who knows? Maybe I'll start hitting some 5Ks, playing tennis, being more active. Probably not going to hit 5Ks, but hey, you never know what's going to happen. What does your life look like down 30 pounds, 50 pounds, or even more? To find out, do what we did and make your own 180 at awaken180weightloss.com.
This is a Craver service announcement. Stop what you're doing and get 10 cheese sliders for a new low price of just $7.99. Your choice of melty American, spicy jalapeno, or cheddar cheese. Only $7.99 for 10 cheese sliders. White Castle. Follow your crave.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Hi, welcome to IKEA.
Look at that selection of outdoor furniture.
Yeah, whatever your space or budget, you'll find a setup for outside.
How about an outdoor chaise lounge for my...
Get some sun side.
Yeah, and a table for my...
Come on over, I'm grilling side.
And outdoor lights for my...
Date night on the patio side.
Ooh, you're good.
I try. We've got what you need to create an outdoor oasis. Plus, delivery starts at $19 when you shop online or choose to pick up at your local store today.
Go to IKEA-USA.com for more details. Restrictions apply. Some products may require assembly.
Scott the Scots here. How did the grass feel when it woke up from winter? A little crabby. Get it? Crabgrass? Right now, there's a short window of time to apply Scott's Turf Builder Halt's Crabgrass Preventer. It stops crabgrass before it invades and feeds your lawn for a fast green up after winter.
Save up to $20 today at the Home Depot or Lowe's for Scott's Day-Long Saving Time. Offers valid March 6th through 19th. See store for full details and product selection.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nada Yada Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bombshells arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Oh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
Plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any Metro Flex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days.
The Fan has been ranked as the 2nd best sports station in America by our industry peers. A heartfelt thank you is in order. But we're not doing it because we're better than that hillbilly Birmingham station that came in first. Thanks for nothing.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, as Care grew over the years, you had many opportunities to sell Care to one of the big conglomerates that are buying companies all over Central Ohio. So tell our customers why you decided to keep Care in the family.
After talking about Care's values for over 30 years, I couldn't bear the thought of Care becoming the kind of company I was warning our customers about. I know the two of you will continue to treat our customers as I would, with honesty and integrity.
We will, Dad. In 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for Ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yes! Let's go!
That's you taking another sip of your
Mountain
Do the Do.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sports book. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It's going to be quite the nippy start to the day with our temperatures into the low 30s to upper 20s, but we warm up pretty quickly going into the day with plenty of sunshine in the forecast and our afternoon highs in the mid to upper 50s. For tonight, clear skies overnight allows those lows to get down right around 32 degrees, but we have a beautiful start to the work week as our afternoon highs get into the mid to low 60s with plenty of sunshine, and we only go up from there. Tuesday could be close to 70 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Here's a listener tweet. Are Men and Bone stupid in real life? Yes. Yes, they are. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday, Tito and DeVier. Reimer with you. Reimer, how the hell are you today? Oh, gosh, you're chewing. I can't ask you how you're doing if you're chewing. Don't worry about it. We'll talk next segment. Oh, all right. By the way, I said Ohio State probably playing USC in the Big Ten tournament. It could also be if Oregon beats Washington. I'm sorry, no, Iowa could end up being, if USC wins, Iowa could end up being the 15 seed. It could be Ohio State, Iowa, or Ohio State, USC. There's a couple different ways to look at that. But anyway, we'll see what happens there. Nonetheless, so we had like the run through with Ryan Day and all the coaches talking to the media on Friday. And so we got some sound from that. Ryan Day talked about why he selected Matt Patricia as his defensive coordinator. Here's what Ryan Day had to say about that.
Felt like Matt was that guy for a lot of reasons. I think the first one is his experience, coaching 19 years in the NFL. He's coached in 6 Super Bowls, has 3 Super Bowl rings, but also, pairing him with Tim Walton as a co-coordinator, pairing him with Larry Johnson, Matt Guerrieri, James Laurinaitis. That was important to have continuity. And so part of that was having somebody that was willing to work with the guys that were in the room. That was very important. And I just want to make sure that I, really praise the guys in that room. And, having Tim Walton as a co-coordinator there is a huge part of our defense.
So I like the Patricia hiring. DeVier, I know he has, very little college experience coaching-wise. I know he did not do great as a head coach in the NFL. That's okay. As we've said before, I've said this many times, some guys are better coordinators than coaches. Some guys are better position coaches than coordinators. Just because you don't succeed as a head coach in the NFL doesn't mean you're not a good coach / coordinator.
Yeah, if you haven't got a chance to check out Matt Patricia's appearance on Julian Edelman's podcast, and you're an Ohio State football junkie, go and catch that gem, because there you'll find out a lot about his psyche and the psychology that he approaches football with. And that is, he is a gym rat. That's the only thing you can say. I mean, he attained a book from Bill Belichick, and this is in that pod, where it tells the story of defense and the reasons why you play cover three and what was going on in the game. Like the game's evolution made defenses respond in certain ways. So cover three or cover four or cover two-man, Tampa, all of these things happen because certain players or certain evolutions of football was going on in that time span. Matt Patricia understands that about defense. So when you talk about down distance, game situation, he studied the history behind why you play defenses. So he'll have a good foundation to filter and distill out to these coaches. And I think what Day is speaking about in terms of pairing up with the Tim Waltons, the James Laurinaitis, the Matt Guerreris, the Larry Johnsons, is that those are great football minds that understand this roster and understand like the evolution of like where players are going. So the way I see it is Patricia comes in with the mastermind game plans, right? The sets and, hey, I need this type of player for this type of responsibility in this defense at this situation. Well, we got this second year, this third year, this senior player, right? And then that's how they marry together, and that's how our defense becomes another great defense with a good defensive mind, because I think what Ryan Day is building with his assistant coaches under a guy like this, like where he can just place OCs and DCs, is that they know the roster. They recruit these kids. They understand where they are in terms of talent development timeline. And then you put a good football mind in there that can distill and teach these different techniques and defensive, just mindsets. We can master it in a spring. We can master it in a training camp. And I think that gelling process goes down. And I love this process that Day is putting together in the offseason. It would be good if we get it from 2 years, right? So we don't have to do this every year.
But I don't mind it if the end result is success. Like, for instance, I know that, look, Chip Kelly, after 1 year, he comes here for 1 year, win a national championship, and goes on to become by far the highest paid coordinator in the NFL. Jim Knowles leaves after 3 years, though, but he, again, you can call it a lateral move if you want. Maybe it's a step back. I think Ohio State's better than Penn State. At worst, it's a lateral move, but he makes a lot more money going to Penn State. That's okay. You've also got Fry, who goes and takes a job with the Arizona Cardinals. That's a bump up for him to be the O-line coach over there. And so if you're going to keep cycling, and Saban did it to perfection, where he would lose guys all the time. By the way, did you see the video? Did you see any pictures or video of Matt Patricia at the press conferences?
Yeah, he looks good.
He looks like he lost some serious weight.
No, he just cut his beard.
Is that all it is?
Yeah.
So he's still fat?
No, it's not that. It's just that beard made him look a lot more chunky. And I think he has lost some weight. You're right. Since his Detroit days, for sure.
I saw him. I'm looking at pictures right now of him with New England recently with the pencil in his mouth and at the press conference.
He looks good.
I think it's more than just beard fat. I think he did lose some weight. He looks a lot better. It looked different to me.
I mean, Tito, in what you're saying in terms of Nick Saban, I think that's true. Right? Urban Meyer, you go back to that Charlie Strong, Dan Mullen, what is it, Muschamp?
Yeah,
I think Stan Drayton was on that staff. And the players and what they did at Florida at that time, it was revolutionary to recruiting because, and I just hope everybody knows that you can just put a pin in 2006, 2007 recruiting and what Urban did by making it a national thing, and Mark Pantoni was a part of that, right? He was a young guy coming up in Florida, but they made it a national recruiting thing, right? Like where we want the best players to come here, all over America, and we recruit our state. It made it mandatory. But what happens is you do that on the recruiting level, you get this national championship success, your coaches bolt. And I think that's where Urban struggled, is replacing great coaches. Yeah. Nick Saban mastered it.
Yeah.
Ryan Day has two blueprints to model after, and I think this Matt Patricia hire is just showing you over and over again, we need to absolutely murder these off seasons in terms of acquisitions, transfer portals, and like making the right moves money-wise. You got to have great off seasons now.
Yeah.
It's almost like the combine checklist, the combine Senior Bowl checklist. We have checklists now in college football for the offseason. That's find new coordinators, replace portal players, get through spring ball, let the maintain your roster.
Yes,
spring
maintain,
ball.
yes.
Let that portal close. Let's get the training camp healthy and prepare for a long season. So I think we're making that blueprint here.
Ryan Day also talked about the spring game and how he doesn't really know what it's going to look like yet, but we know it won't be a spring football game like we've traditionally seen here at Ohio State.
Not yet. Yeah, I mean, there will certainly be opportunities to scrimmage, and it'll look like a game. Because of some of the guys that we mentioned, we still want them out there doing some things. So that will probably be in some drill work and some 7-on-7 work, and be good to get everybody out there so that the fans can see them. But the most important thing is getting the young guys game reps with hopefully a good crowd out there. So that, because we know the next time again will be against Texas. So we're also going to have to take a hard look at the health of our team as we get into the end of April. So we have to be able to adjust and be flexible with it. Again, that's the goal, was to get these guys as many reps as we can in the stadium.
So Oklahoma, USC, Nebraska all canceled their spring games. They're calling it something else. What do they do? I'm okay with it. Look, the spring game, I don't know what it was like when you played at Ohio State. I think you were probably still, when I was growing up, it was a huge deal, and it was treated like a real game. As far as like there was two separate squads, offense versus defense, and all of that. It was like, and then later on it got into, well, we're going to do different kind of scoring things. And if you get a sack, it's this many points. Or get a hold, it's this, or you hold somebody on offense, this many points, whatever it is. But it hasn't been a real spring game for a long time for me. So I'm not that surprised or disappointed if they go away from it. When you played, was it intense at all?
When I played?
Yeah.
You're asking me how I felt about the spring game?
I know you were intense.
No.
I know you.
No, I hated the spring game.
Why is that?
For 3 reasons.
Yeah.
Why are we playing football in this? Like, why is Cam Hayward trying to tackle me right now?
Right.
And then 2, it's like, all right, if we really game plan to beat our defense.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I love the corners I play with, but it's like, I know in practice I beat you one-on-one every time. Like, I know you can't guard me.
Right.
So I know we're just like running install 1 through 3. Like,
okay.
We're not even trying to beat you guys. We're just trying to run our playbook. So we're not, like, football is game planning and adjustments. Like, that's most of the game. Now, like, you have to put the base in, but it's like, then you get into like these like football like standoffs where it's like, where our base can beat your base. Like, yeah, we beat you with install 1. Like, you heard Michigan say that 2 years ago when they came with J.J. McCarthy. He went off. He had a big game. And they were like, oh, well, we were on install 1. We didn't even get deep into the playbook. So I don't like that we are not game planning. Right. So it was like, what are we doing? So it felt silly. And then 2, and then 3, like, it was just like, I wanted to be at Old Patio. Like, I wanted to be a normal student in the spring. I wanted to be having a good time. Right. Like, like we were college kids, man. Like, we had a good time. So I get it. I get it. Loving football and wanting to play at any time of the year. But
look, have a couple of things. Have a couple of events.
Oh, and it's another thing. I never got the ball in the spring game. Like,
you never did.
I never went off. Like, I would have like 5 for like 26 yards or something. Like, it was just like,
right. You're a competitive guy. You want to have the numbers.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So we'll see. Look, the spring game's going away. It's going to be, and they should do, because of how much money they have to raise for NIL and for player retention and whatnot. You'll start seeing like maybe 2 or 3 events between April and the start of the season where players will be available. There'll be some practices you can go watch as a fan and pay $5-10, whatever it is, to go there and watch at the Horseshoe. I get it. That's the way it probably should be. All right, coming up next, in 2 minutes, Mekka Don joins us. Buckle up, folks. That's Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get 1 line on unlimited welcome for $45 per month with AutoPay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Columbus Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now, you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do? Like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking. And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
An ex-jock and a very puffy, smooth-faced man. These are the first voices you should hear. Morning Juice.
Your wake-up service. Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan. Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday. Tito, Depot, the doctor, DeVier posing to my right. Jacob Reimer, halfway through his lunch on the other side of the glass. And let's do this now like we always do on a Sunday at this time.
Let's get fired up for Buckeye season. It's time to buckle up with Mekka Don.
Mekka Don, Buckeye Nation. It's time.
Buckle up.
He is Mekka Don. He is the single reason why Ohio State won the national championship this year. Joining us here on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Mekka, I don't know where in the world are you today? Are you local? Because I've seen you in Cleveland. I've seen you in other countries. Where are you today?
I am local, sir. How you guys doing today?
Good, brother.
What's up?
I'm going to start. If you don't mind, I'm going to start today because I had a question I asked on social media yesterday that I thought was interesting. And I know you guys probably give some good answers. So if you don't mind. So I asked yesterday if you could have one player that played in the history of Ohio State football that would be in their prime and play for the Buckeyes every single season for the rest of life. One on offense, one on defense. Who would you choose?
DeVier, you can't choose yourself.
No.
Okay, I'm just letting you know. You can't choose yourself.
I know.
Okay.
Every single Ohio State team?
Yep. Going forward,
just one player in the history on offense, one player in the history on defense, and they would play in their prime for the Buckeyes forever. Who would you choose? You can answer later. I just want to.
No. Let's do this now. Let's do
this now. Go ahead, Tito.
Okay. I think on offense, God, I feel like I'm disrespectful to other players if I pick. I'll take Orlando Pace on offense. Give me the pancake on. If you've got him on offense, your team can overcome any other deficiencies you might have. I'll go OP. Orlando Pace, Mr. Pancake on offense. Who you got on offense, DeVier?
Yep.
For the history of Ohio State moving forward, I would take quarterback Braxton.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I like it. You can't go wrong with either of those.
And then for defense, I would take All-American Andy Katzenmoyer.
Yeah.
I think
was a popular one too.
Yeah.
I think I would take Spiels. He has some massive 20-plus tackle games, and he was all over the place. Interceptions also. He had a number of interceptions in his career as well as a linebacker. I would probably go Spiels on defense.
Here's my thing. Ryan Shazier ain't listening to what Chris Spielman talking about.
I know he's not.
I'm just thinking about just Andy paired with James, Bobby, AJ, Ryan, Raekwon McMillan, Cody Simon. I can put Katzenmoyer with any of those guys, and I would be happy. And he can go and put his hand in the dirt, too, like in the Larry Johnson.
Is there any chance that Tyvis Powell just drove off the road or he's calling in? I'm waiting for a text from him.
No.
Mekka, who did you have in your offensive defense?
You know what? I actually didn't even pick someone, but if I had to go, I think I got to go offense. I'd probably go C.J. Stroud.
Okay.
Even though I think Orlando Pace is probably the right answer because he's just the greatest we've ever seen. But I think I'm going to go with Stroud, and that's probably a little recency bias. And then I think I agree with DeVier. I would go with Katzenmoyer You ask me this question tomorrow, though. I probably have two different guys. That's the thing about Buckeye football.
You could throw Jack Tatum in there with anybody.
Yeah. Antoine Winfield, too. He was up there. I almost said him.
Got even Chris Gamble. Yeah, Gamble's one. Teddy.
Caleb
right?
Downs could play with anybody.
Yeah, I know. Chris Carter's calling you on the other line right now. We'll let you. We'll hang on though. Let that go to voicemail if you don't mind.
Honestly, and then another guy is like Malcolm could make a lot of. He would have made a lot of our defense just better.
Oh sure,
just him as a leader, a guy like Malcolm Jenkins.
That's true. That's a good point.
Man, this is a fun game. I like this.
Well, they spent a lot of time on the show before ours talking about the first Buckeye athlete you fell in love with as a kid. Like the first guy, it's
I know my guy.
And, okay, who's your guy?
Ted.
Ted Ginn?
Yeah. It was because it came from I lived in Ohio, but that's how I started watching. I mean, I knew about the national championship in 2002, but make me like Ohio State was the punt returns and the the speed and how they used to talk about him. I knew he was a track guy, so that Ted was my guy.
So Mekka, how about you?
A little bit older than DeVier. So I think basketball was Jimmy Jackson.
Yeah,
those teams were just ridiculous. And then football, it was Eddie. I mean, first of all, Eddie to me was just so my sister and my brother, both my older sisters and brother went to Ohio State. So and they're older than me. So I used to be on campus around that time, just visiting them, and I would see Eddie, and there's the biggest just Hulk of Superman person you'd ever seen in your life, and then just what he did on the field, obviously. I mean, that was just I don't know. I don't think anyone could really top him for me.
Yeah, Mekka Don joining us right now on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. And Mekka, I'm with you. Hey, look, and there's times, we talk on the radio, we talk to other media people, and we also talk to former players or other media people off the air, like when you're alone and separate, you're out about in social circles and just talking about things. And sometimes you'll come across or hear about a player or a person, a media personality, and someone say, yeah, he's great on the air, but, or he's this way in public, but in private. I have never heard a single negative word said about Eddie George.
Not one. Him and Archie are the only two, probably maybe not the only two, but the main two for sure.
Yeah.
You just literally never. They're great people on and off the field, and they just, there's so many different instances. When you're in that type of light, there's so many different instances where somebody could have a bad encounter with you. They're having a bad day. They're in a rush. You know what I mean? They're late for their flight. But there are literally no stories like that. It's really, really amazing.
Yeah, I've met Eddie a couple of times, and both times, when Eddie talks to you, he makes you feel like you're the most important person in the room. He's got that way, his smile, just the way he talks to you. It's you feel like we're buddies.
Well, so speaking of Eddie, obviously, the news broke today. He just got the Bowling Green head coaching job, and I think that's, first of all, I think congrats to Bowling Green, right? Because I think that's just an unbelievable get. And you're talking about the state of Ohio, high school football, one of the top, I would say, 7 or 8 states of high school football. And there's a lot of overflow of guys that can't go to Ohio State, that can't go to, some of the other, Cincinnati or whatever. And Eddie George is going to come in here, and I think he's going to clean up in the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
And that Bowling Green is going to be something real very soon. What do you guys think?
No, I love you for saying that, because people always talk about Florida, Texas, and California are the best places for football. Guys come from there, but what they discount about Ohio is 2 things. We have the Hall of Fame here, but we also have our own college league. And that's that's the MAC. You think about, and so so our players can stay home who don't get to go national, right? They can stay home, and it's at that feel. And I am excited for that reason, because Eddie knows that about Ohio State high school football.
Yes.
And he knows he can build a roster, and he knows he can gain traction and love here with Ohio. And let Eddie show up in the MAC championship in a couple years. That momentum is going to be pretty big, and he could be a coach in the Big Ten, immediately following after that. So I'm excited for him.
For sure. And like you said, Ohio, this isn't and he knows this too, right? So he's not going to Ball State, which nothing against Ball State, but a school like that, they don't have the pedigree. And like you said, the breadth of talent we have locally in Ohio. He doesn't even have to recruit out of the state of Ohio to make that team into something amazing. So I'm super happy for him. Always happy for Buckeyes, that are coming back and doing their thing.
What's cool about it, Mekka, too, is that, we saw Curtis Rourke go from Ohio University to Indiana. It had a great year for them this year under Kurt McNeil, and they had their most successful year ever as a football team at Indiana. And, it's long been determined that college football is really minor league football for the NFL. Like, without having minor league affiliates, that's what it is. And now with the transfer portal, the way it's working out, and with the NIL and all that, a lot of, like, the MAC is minor league for the Power Four. And if you get somebody like Eddie George in there, Eddie George might be getting guys that Ohio State doesn't want right now, but in 2 years, Ohio State might want them after playing 2 years for Eddie George at Bowling Green. And it could really serve as a breeding ground for the next level of talent coming into the Big Ten, and specifically Ohio State, especially with Eddie George's relationship in the state of Ohio and with Ohio State.
Well, the flip side is also true, too. And I've seen this at, like, Toledo, for example. I have 2 nephews that play at Toledo. And the flip side is also true for the guys that Ohio State, quote unquote, doesn't necessarily want, who've been there for 2 or 3 years and who aren't getting their opportunity. They may not feel like they want to transfer all the way to, some SEC school or some, Pac-12 school or even another Big Ten school. They can just go right up to Bowling Green and, get developed there. And the other thing that Eddie had done at TSU, and I imagine he'll do this at Bowling Green, is he built a staff that was pretty much almost all former NFL players. And, some college players. So that's the other thing that they're selling, too, is they're selling the development, but they're also selling that they can help you with the pipeline to the NFL. So I just think it's just going to work out just amazing for him up there.
By the way, we got this right here. Reimer, get ready. After I announced earlier, DeVier Posey's will be the wide receivers coach at Bowling Green. Mekka Don will be the new general manager of football at Bowling Green and do a hype song for them.
The first part, maybe second part, I don't know, man. I might have to keep that tight. But don't be surprised, man. Eddie is a guy that will. Depot, you might get a call soon. Don't be surprised.
It's going to happen, Mekka. I'm with you. I think it's going to happen. He'll call you too, Mekka.
Don't be surprised.
Yeah, when you get a call and you put your resume in, you're excited. But like when somebody is like just calling you to come in to coaching, that's a different kind of call. You got to kind of think about that. So, but
well, I think he's probably going to put together some former Buckeyes on that staff. I mean, it's only smart to do that. And then I think Pepe Pearson was on his staff at Tennessee State, if I'm not mistaken. So
Mike Brewster was on that staff too. He was offensive line, but he just took a gig out in Washington with Scotty Graham. You remember Scotty Graham?
Yeah,
he's out there in Washington. Yeah, Scotty's great. He's a great Buckeye. He's one of Buckeyes' favorite Buckeyes too, because Scotty's just a good guy.
Sure.
He's out in Washington too with Mike Brewster as well.
And Richard McNutt, I think, was if I'm not mistaken, was the cornerbacks coach or defensive back coach at Tennessee State too. So Eddie had already been putting a bunch of Ohio State guys on his roster. I can't imagine what he'll do at Bowling Green.
Once he adds Depot and Mekka Don also be in good shape. What's going with the documentary, buddy? We got a solid or semi-solid release date on this?
So I think it's going to be the first or second week of June right now. So we'll crystallize that probably the next couple of weeks. It is going amazing. The editing is going amazing. We have a lot of interest from sponsors and also actually some big production houses. So we'll be having those calls soon. Can't say names yet.
Yep.
But it's going amazing. One funny thing, though, is we had a call with the Big Ten Network the other day just about kind of licensing footage to use in the documentary. Oh, my gosh. The what it costs to license footage. I'm talking about anything that's shot inside any stadium that's a Big Ten property, whether you shot it, even if you shot it on your phone, if you're trying to use it, you have to actually pay for that per second that you use, and it's an exorbitant amount of money. So,
what's that per second amount? Just give me 30% of it. I just want to hear I just want to hear what that lawyer pocketbook is about to spend. What you got?
For digital, it's $150 a second. And for broadcast, it's $300 a second. And get this, it's a minimum of 60 seconds that you have to use. So even if
you got to bid.
You got to pay. You got to pay for 60 seconds. Yeah.
So
when we're trying to get sponsors, that's why there's real cost here. So anybody's interested in sponsoring the documentary, send me a message.
So you think that's crazy? What are those Super Bowl second conversations going for?
I can't even imagine.
Are we talking $100,000 a second for a Super Bowl? Like, this is nuts,
bro. It's crazy. So yeah, you're talking about minimum $9,000 just for digital,
That's amazing.
For 60 seconds and minimum 18,000 for broadcast. So yeah, it's a big one.
Now let me ask you, if you knew that per second amount going into the season, would you have had that phone all out in the stadium like you had last time?
The crazy thing is like you can get creative in some of these things, like where you don't use footage and you come up with animations or some type of thing. But for this, I mean, you're talking about players running out to buckle up. I mean, that's a very significant part of this documentary. We just whether it's
you got to pay for that.
We got to pay for it. There's no way around it.
If you need kind of like other footage, Depot and I can put on Ohio State uniforms and act like we're playing for Ohio State. We can run out of the tunnel together. We'll do it for free.
If we hit a snag, trust me, I might have to make that call because this is going to cost a pretty penny.
You might need to use some AI for this doc right now.
Yeah, right. Seriously. Yeah, seriously. It's going to change the game in the future. But anyway, thanks for asking. Buckle Up documentary is going really, really well. We're super excited about it. We got like 5 new sponsors in the last week. So,
are we doing a premiere anywhere on campus? Like we should premiere. Like you got a red carpet, all that. Is that coming?
100%. That's coming. You know me well enough, Depot. You know for sure.
Ain't no half stepping with Mekka.
By the way,
big stepper.
Just so you know, Jacob, that's a Big Daddy Kane reference. I got that one. Ain't no half stepping.
Ain't no half stepping.
Oh wow.
Ain't no half stepping.
Wow.
You're a big stepper.
You are right.
There it is.
So for sure, I'll let you know. We're talking to a couple of different venues right now. We'll definitely do one in probably the main one in Columbus. So that'll definitely happen. You guys for sure will be there on the VIP list.
Absolutely.
So I hope to see you guys there, but I'll keep you guys posted. And thanks for checking in on it.
You bet. Tuxedo right now is hanging in the closet, Mekka. We will talk again soon, buddy. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. That was Mekka Don at Mekka Don Music. Will you wear a tuxedo to the premiere?
Absolutely.
No, you won't.
Tito, here's the thing.
I'll wear a tuxedo. You won't. You'll wear something really stylish and classy and current. I'll wear old guy tuxedo.
No, I'm going to make the tuxedo look good.
Jacob, I know you'll make it look good.
Here's my mindset. If I saw my worst enemy, he's going to be mad. You're going to be mad every day.
That's great. Coming up next, we got more South OSU's coaching staff yesterday. We'll do that next. Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Meet the new Monopoly Bonus Spectacular scratch-offs from the Ohio Lottery. Scratch-off greenhouses to reveal winning numbers for a chance at over $113 million in total cash prizes. That's a spectacular amount of winnings. 5 games from $1 to 20. Multipliers from 5 to 100 times. Chance bonuses and top prizes up to $1 million. When you play the Monopoly Bonus Spectacular Scratch-Offs, what you find under a greenhouse could change everything. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
The Reds are on the radio.
Long fly ball, deep left center field, way back. It is gone. This could be an inside the park home run. Ellie De La Cruz is on. He leaps and he caught it. 20 home runs on the year for Spencer Steer.
What will Terry Francona's 2025 Reds look like? Find out for yourself. Cactus League play is underway. Hear all the action on your home of the Reds.
Roll Up to Win is back at Tim Hortons. We're rolling out great prizes like a 2025 Ford Bronco, $500 daily jackpots, Xboxes, and more. You can earn rolls with your purchase of an eligible hot or cold beverage and favorite breakfast item. A whole new way to earn rolls this year. Visit your neighborhood Tim's and download the app for great food and more opportunities to roll up to win. No purchase necessary. Tim Hortons app required. See rules on app for details. Entered by 3/23/25. Sponsored by Tim Hortons.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, as Care grew over the years, you had many opportunities to sell Care to one of the big conglomerates that are buying companies all over Central Ohio. So tell our customers why you decided to keep Care in the family.
After talking about Care's values for over 30 years, I couldn't bear the thought of Care becoming the kind of company I was warning our customers about. I know the two of you will continue to treat our customers as I would, with honesty and integrity.
We will, Dad. In 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for Ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game. That's you taking another sip of your Do the Do.
Rothman and Ice.
It's more evidence that you need to subscribe to the rule Bobby and I subscribe to.
What's that?
If you can't get a yard, you don't deserve to win.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan. Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You know, as much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, the bruiseless avocado.
Ooh.
The unlosable TV remote.
Could change the world.
And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get Eco.
Until you crack it, Jerry. You know our 93 or free drain clearing offer is the next best thing.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Get Eco.
Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get Eco.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote?
I think that's impossible even for us.
Get Eco.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
It's child's play to donate your car, truck, RV, or boat to Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central Ohio. They'll pick it up free of charge, steer you through the paperwork, and a hefty tax deduction rolls your way as you help provide a home away from home for families of seriously ill hospitalized children. For more information about donating your vehicle to Ronald McDonald House Charities, visit rmhc-centralohio.org or call 614-CARS-HELP. That's 614-CARS-HELP.
Hey, it's Anthony from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. If you're searching for a Honda lease deal here in Central Ohio, I know you've come to the right place. Leasing allows you to enjoy that flexibility in one of their fantastic, sharp, reliable vehicles. I'm so confident that Rich and his team can tailor a lease deal that's right for you. Like a 2025 CR-V LX all-wheel drive, $349 a month for 36 months, 30,000 miles with only $19.99 down. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, Fan Sports Sunday. Tito and DeVier, Jacob Bryan with you. Thank you to Mekka Don for joining us there in that last segment. Matt Patricia spoke to the media the other day, and here's what he said about Ohio State being a great recruiting area. Ohio being. Oh, sorry, hang on.
You know the bigger schools, and obviously, I mean, look, there's nothing better than Ohio high school football. I mean, this is like, you know, I know that from even being in the NFL, like just where all the good players are coming from. So I'm excited to be in this state. That is amazing.
And DeVier, this is the analogy I made. If you're a defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator for Ohio State, it's like playing chess against another team and you've got an extra queen. You know what I mean? Like you've got the advantage. In every game, you're going to have the advantage. So you've got an extra queen on your team every time when you're playing, which is why I think it's going to continue to be. It might be a cycle thing where maybe Patricia's here for 1 year, goes back to the NFL. Maybe not. Who knows? But you're going to see more and more guys, though, that come through, and they use it as a way to get back like Chip Kelly did. Chip Kelly wanted back in the NFL, and he's making a ton of money doing it. You see guys that will take it as a springboard for that. And when you're at Ohio State, it's a great opportunity for you to improve your resume and get back to whatever level you want to be at.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's an opportunity to just that's the best part about Ohio State football is there's football junkies that come here because it's the height of the height. Like it's one of the greatest jobs in college football, but they leave things behind. They leave ideas. They leave processes and ways of preparation, and that's what is literally like the definition of greatness. Is that there's something in the room that everybody can pick up on, and there's a high standard. Matt Patricia is bringing. If you go to Wikipedia, he's bringing the 2004 season for the Patriots all the way up into 2022. And that process in time, no matter what you could say about who it was, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, Tito, follow me on this, their process won Super Bowls, and their defenses were some of the greatest defenses in the history of football. We get a piece of that process. It's going to our players. It's going to our coaches. That way of preparation, that Bill Belichick mindset will be in Ohio State's building this year through Matt Patricia. And I think for me, you're right. He is an extra queen because he brings that too. He brings that pedigree of his coaching experience, and our coaches and our players get to become better for it.
Yeah, so it'll be exciting to see how it turns out this year with him, and the fact he's going to be, the DC for Ohio State with all the experience he's got. He's got Bibles and Bibles of plays. He said he's run. I think he said he's run every defense possible, and he's got all that knowledge and experience to go back on. We'll see how it adjusts to the college game and also during the game as well. All right, coming up next, he's our golf betting expert. Did you take his advice this week? We'll check in with full transparency with John Gerber next. This is Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
We've lowered prices. You can save 15% or more on hundreds of items like Thomas Mini Bagels, Campbell's SpaghettiOs, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Make your money go further with on-the-spot savings at Rent-A-Center. Right now, get top furniture and appliance brands starting as low as $19.99 per week in rent without using credit. Only at Rent-A-Center. Rental purchase agreement. Pricing valid February 9th, 2025 to April 5th, 2025 on new merchandise at participating locations. You will not own merchandise until the total amount necessary to acquire ownership is paid in full or you exercise your early purchase option. Ownership is optional. See store for details.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Welcome to AT&T. How can I help?
Hey, I thought I could trust my twins with my phone, but they outnumber me, man.
Whoa, that's a lot of glitter paint.
Let's trade lives.
At AT&T, everyone can trade in an old or glittered iPhone any year, any condition, and save on a new iPhone. Ask how to get iPhone 16 Pro on us. New and existing customers. Savings vary by device and trade-in combinations. Restrictions apply. See att.com/iPhone for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Start 2025 with significant growth and earning potential at Uline. Interview for warehouse roles at Uline's March hiring event in Etna, Ohio. Earn reliable income starting from $25 an hour with a $2 night shift increase. And get full health and retirement benefits on day one. Don't wait. Start building a long-term career at a growing company. Sign up for your warehouse interview on Saturday, March 22nd in Etna at uline.jobs. That's uline.jobs.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Jacob Reimer. It's a good day if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, per Adam Schefter. After originally requesting a trade, Myles Garrett and the Browns have now reached an agreement on a record contract extension that averaged $40 million a year. That includes $123.5 million in guaranteed money. This now makes him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. In college football, it's a big day for the MAC as Bowling Green plans to hire legendary former Ohio State running back Eddie George to be their next head football coach. Deal is up to 5 years. George is leaving Tennessee State fresh off a 9-4 record and a Big South Ohio Valley Co championship. The Lakers are expected to be without LeBron James for at least 1 to 2 weeks with a groin strain, according to Shams. The Lakers fell to the Celtics last night and still have 3 games left on their road trip before heading back to L.A. And in hockey, the Blue Jackets look to snap a 2-game losing skid tonight at 6 o'clock when they visit the New York Rangers. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday. Thanks for tuning in here until 3 o'clock today. Tito, DeVier, Jacob Reimer with you. Heard him on the Sports Center update there. And now we will head out to the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. He's our golf betting expert. He is the host of the From the Rough podcast, the most popular golf podcast in the state of Ohio. Also writer for Athlon Sports. John Gerber joins us. And Gerb, we got the Arnold Palmer Invitational going on right now. And before we get into your picks, I'm curious. We know they were big-time competitors on the course. Do you think, Jack's got his memorial, Arnold has had his, the Arnold Palmer Invitational out there at Bay Hill. Do you think they were that competitive as far as golf course design and tournaments go?
Yeah, good afternoon, fellas. Yeah, that's a great question. I think when they first started, Arnie was obviously beloved for a lot of reasons, and he was kind of the, kind of the most popular guy, and Jack was kind of the new guy coming in, and, he wasn't really well liked by Arnie and a couple of those other guys. I kind of compare him a little bit to Tiger and Phil. Phil kind of took the role of kind of being that, most popular guy like Arnie, but the problem with Phil is Phil was just so fake, people saw through it. Arnie was just such a genuine guy, and then Tiger was kind of the villain for the most part, and because he was kind of the dominant player and took over the reins. So I think they were competitive. I'm not so sure on their golf course design. Were they competitive? Because they set their golf courses up kind of 2 completely different ways. Jack liked to set his golf course up like the way he played and played a lot of holes that were fade holes, and Arnie the same way, that he would hit a lot of holes. He would design a lot of holes that were right to left. So competitive-wise, I think they're just 2 types of different golf courses when it comes to design. But on the golf course, certainly we're competitors.
Do you, just curious for you, have you dabbled in it? Have you given any thought to or had any interest in the golf course design?
Oh, no. I mean, I struggle with just going out there and playing, let alone trying to design a golf course. I mean, that's something that's I'm going to leave that to some of those guys that are a lot smarter than me when it comes to that. So, my golf course design theory is I like the places that I play the best, and those are few and far between these days, buddy.
Absolutely. Well, I'm super excited for this golf season. I don't know about you. And it's starting to warm up out here. I haven't talked to you in a while. We got Happy Gilmore coming out this year. We could get some new golf fans. I know my boys, we're going to go see the first one and the second one and laugh our butts off. And then we're going to go play some golf this year. So what are you excited about this year, Gerbs?
Yeah, I mean, just the season in general. I just got to Ohio, so I brought you guys some pretty good weather. It feels like a little bit like Texas weather. I think it's going to be nice all week. So I brought you guys some good weather, but just in general, just the golf season, I think with everything going on with the potential live and PGA Tour merger, I think you're going to start to see some of those, PGA Tour, the higher end PGA Tour guys again with the DeChambos and the Koepkas. And I just think the golf is in a really good place. And, that's really what I'm more excited about. The majors coming up with the Masters and then the PGA and things like that. So the competitive PGA Tour schedule is something I'm really excited about, especially with all the betting opportunities that are coming up for us.
So, Gert, how do you feel about this indoor league in Jupiter? Have you been down there? I haven't talked to you in, I feel like, 6 months.
Look, DeVier's had 4 months off, okay? This is what it's been. So just
it was 3 weeks.
Whatever it was.
3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. You know, yeah. Like I said, I'm glad you're back on the air with JT because you certainly class up the show for sure. But
Absolutely.
No, it's for me personally, it's a hard watch.
Yep.
You know, I think they're trying to figure out some things. To be honest with you, I think if you didn't have the face of Tiger and Rory, I think it wouldn't be nearly as popular. I think they're trying so hard to make it that way. They bring the attention just because it's them, but I think they have to iron out some things in terms of next year. The playoffs seem kind of hokey a little bit on what they're doing. I think that, you know, just some things. The things a couple things I did like. I like kind of maybe why the personality guys are coming out a little bit, and some of the guys you can see that. I enjoy that.
Yep.
But to be honest with you, some of those personalities I really don't want to see. I mean, Tom Kim is just. I don't need him jumping around, you know, like a jelly bean out there and things like that. Billy Horschel likes to hear Billy Horschel talk, and I'm pretty sure no one else likes to hear that either. So, you know, I just think some of those things are helping. But, you know, without Tiger and without Rory, I don't think it would be a success. But I think they have to iron some things out, in my opinion.
Your boy's in the lead, Gerb.
Who's that?
Morikawa.
Yeah.
Well, he's my. Do I need to make that phone call again, like Memorial? I mean, to get him in a spot. But hey, we're looking fantastic this week. I know it doesn't seem like it, but if you look at today's round, we had two matchups today. I really like Corey Connors minus 110 over Jason Day, and I like Shane Lowry minus 110 over Finau. A couple things. Shane Lowry's not nearly going to play as bad as he did yesterday, and we have him. We have Shane Lowry to win, and we have Corey Connors to win. We have Russell Henley to finish in the top 10, Aaron Rye to finish in the top 20. But we're looking really strong. We hedged our bets. Well, I'll take that back. We pressed our bets today with Corey Connors, and here's why. I think he's going to win out the golf tournament, not saying just because we did have him at 66-1. That is our ham sandwich pick this week. So
it's Corey Connors.
Yeah, we have him at 66-1. I'm going to switch theories with today, guys. JT, I want you to watch every second of this golf tournament because last week you said you didn't watch, and I don't know if you did or didn't. But we should have won the golf tournament, but we didn't. But I want you to watch every second so I can have somebody to blame if Corey Connors doesn't take it home. But I really do like Corey Connors. A couple of reasons why, to be real quick. His 2 wins on the PGA Tour were very difficult golf courses in San Antonio. It's going to play very similar, firm and fast. Yesterday, Morikawa made, the golf course set up very well for him. There was 13 holes with the pin positions yesterday that favored a cutter. So Colin Morikawa is a cutter. That's why he played well there. Today, there's 12 pin positions today that's going to favor a guy that hits the ball right to left with his irons, guy like Corey Connors, and he's not going to make a lot of mistakes. So I think this really lends well for Corey Connors, not making a lot of mistakes, being very comfortable with these pin positions, and sitting there a couple shots back, not being in that lead group. I think he can be a little bit more aggressive. I think he can chase a little bit, maybe sit in the clubhouse with one or two holes left and let those guys maybe falter a little bit.
I'll tell you, Gerb, and by the way, go add Jay Gerber PGA Pro. All these things he's saying are things that are out there. So it's not like he's changing the narrative or anything. He did have Corey Connors as his ham sandwich guy, 66-1. And so he's right there in contention. That's huge. And Gerb puts it out there all the time. He'll tell you if he's up or down, but he's always up, just so you know ahead of time. For the season he is. There's sometimes it's a setback maybe for a week, but if you follow his system the entire year and not just once in a while like me where you might pick the wrong week, follow him the entire season consistently, and you will make money. That's why Hayden doesn't work anymore. His dog was eating steak for breakfast because he followed Gerb's advice. So, Gerb, as we're getting closer now to that first major, the Masters coming up, I love we can say it's next month since we're in March now. The Masters coming up. Is there anybody in particular that you're looking at now and saying, you know what, I think this guy might be able to win it this year?
It's so early to tell. I mean, we're a month out. It is really early to tell. We have a lot of golf in between now and the Masters. In the golf courses kind of warming up to the Masters, they're nothing like playing Augusta. Finishing the Florida swing with TPC, going to Valspar, playing the Florida swing, playing in Houston. These golf courses aren't anywhere close to the Masters to play in Augusta National. So it's really difficult to say. I really dive into it a week before to see who's playing the week before. see where their game is. I'm really disappointed in Rory a little bit. I think if he can figure out his driver, I said this a couple weeks ago, if he drives it as well as he did at Pebble Beach, there's no one going to beat him, and I think he will win the Masters to complete the career Grand Slam. But again, that's a big if. So, you look at a guy. To be honest with you, I like the way Jordan Spieth is trending. I thought it was unfortunate he didn't play this week just because it's a signature event. But look for him next week. Don't be surprised if he's on our card next week. So there's a lot of guys that I'm going to pay attention to in the next couple of weeks. To see how they're kind of playing a little bit, but I really won't dive into it till the week before.
He is John Gerber, host of Flummer Rough Podcast, the most popular golf podcast in the state of Ohio on Fantasy Sports powered by DSP Media, also writer for Athlon Sports, our golf betting expert. Gerber, we appreciate the time, bud. We will talk again. So now you're in Ohio, so if we have bad weather, we can blame you. Good weather, you'll take the credit for it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And DeVier, make sure he watches golf today for me, buddy, because we can bring this one home with Corey Connors.
I got you.
We'll put it all over for Corey Connors. Thanks so much, Gerber. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. That was John Gerber. That 66-1. He's got money on Corey Connors. That's pretty impressive that he's got that going right now. That Corey Connors right now is at -8, a mere 2 shots off the lead after carding a 69 yesterday. Morikawa's the lead at -10. Henley -9, or more Coward as Gerber will call him, -10. Yeah, Henley -9, Connors -8, Jason Day -7. Keegan Bradley's been a great round so far. He's 6 under, 7 under through 9 today. 6 under for the tournament. He's going to end up on the front 9. Keegan Bradley was phenomenal. Carded 29 on the front 9 today, included an eagle and 5 birdies. All right, coming up next, Ross Bjork joined Morning Juice on Thursday. Had some interesting comments about the future of college football. We will do that next. This is Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get 1 line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Columbus Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Scott the Scots here. How did the grass feel when it woke up from winter? A little crabby. Get it? Crabgrass? Right now, there's a short window of time to apply Scott's Turf Builder Halt's Crabgrass Preventer. It stops crabgrass before it invades and feeds your lawn for a fast green up after winter.
Save up to $20 today at the Home Depot or Lowe's for Scott's day-long saving time. Offers valid March 6th through 19th. See store for full details and product selection.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Don't let life get in the way of what's most important. Visit shelterinsurance.com to learn more. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You know, as much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, the bruiseless avocado.
Ooh.
The unlosable TV remote.
Could change the world.
And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get Eco.
Until you crack it, Jerry. You know our 93 or free drain clearing offer is the next best thing.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Get Eco.
Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get Eco.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote?
I think that's impossible even for us.
Get Eco.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
This
is the White Castle Call of the Crave, and it can happen anytime, even right now. So for a limited time, go get your hands on crispy shrimp nibblers. Only at White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only.
Fish has been named the third best sports program director in the country. Winner. The two dudes who finished ahead of him are dead. So we're declaring him the winner. You're listening to the home of champions, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and spring's going to be here before you know it. I know it feels cold now, but before too long, you're going to be outside running around, jogging, wanting to do golf, explore time with your family, get outside and do the things you love. Just be active. And listen, a lot of my friends, they're asking me about QC Kinetics joint treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. And if you're wondering, maybe you could be a good candidate, let's see if the answer is yes to any of these questions. Quality of life impacted by chronic pain, knees, hips, back, shoulders, other things. Trouble sleeping, walking, day-to-day movement? Check. Next, avoiding surgery, the pain, the downtime? Check. Most importantly, do you miss doing the things I talked about when the spring and summer are here? Check. Don't wait. If you answered yes to one or any of those, you'd be a great candidate. You can go in there, go to QC Kinetics, ask for their free consultation, find out what it's all about, learn about the latest advances in regenerative medicine. They've got locations in Dublin and Gehenna, or you can go to qckinetics.com/Columbus, or better yet, call 380-208-4544.
The Reds are on the radio.
Long fly ball, deep left center field, way back. It is gone. This could be an inside the park home run. L.A. De La Cruz is on. He leaps and he caught it. 20 home runs on the year for Spencer Steer.
What will Terry Francona's 2025 Reds look like? Find out for yourself. Cactus League play is underway. Hear all the action on your home of the Reds.
Common Man here for Worthington Jewelers. I was the voice of another company for a long time, and then my good friend Bob Capace changed my mind about the jewelry experience. 25 years of local, 25 years of relationships. Experience the difference for yourself just like I did. The spring bridal sale is going on right now. You buy one, you get one 50% off. The best prices of the year on natural and lab-grown diamonds. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It's going to be quite the nippy start to the day with our temperatures into the low 30s to upper 20s, but we warm up pretty quickly going into the day with plenty of sunshine in the forecast and our afternoon highs in the mid to upper 50s. For tonight, clear skies overnight allows those lows to get down right around 32 degrees, but we have a beautiful start to the work week as our afternoon highs get into the mid to low 60s with plenty of sunshine, and we only go up from there. Tuesday could be close to 70 degrees. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Your morning just got beefier. Morning Juice with Beamer, Bobby, and Shark.
Weekdays from 6 to 9.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Your go-to destination for Buckeye football talk all year round. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, Fan Sports Sunday. Tito and DeVier and Reimer with you. Thank you, John Gerber, for joining us on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline last segment. DeVier, I was on Morning Juice subbing in for Brandon Beam on Thursday. Ross Bjork came in studio for a couple of segments. And I want to play, I don't know if you listened to it or not, and it's okay if you didn't, but I want to tell you, this is very interesting what he talked about. It's a longer clip. We try to keep clips short, but this is a little over a minute. And I want to hear what Ross Bjork had to say about a new governing body, a governing entity when it comes to the Big Four. Here is what he had to say.
There is going to be a new entity that is being created right now, as we speak, that the Autonomy 4 conferences will oversee and govern. And if you opt into the House case settlement rules of engagement, and you will revenue share, and you have roster limits, there'll be a new entity that will govern the revenue share cap. It will govern NIL. It will have rules of enforcement on if you violate the cap. Here's what that means. If you do an NIL third-party agreement that doesn't meet the clearinghouse standards, that could be a violation. If you pay under the table, like the old school days, right, those things could be violations. So there's going to be things that are housed in this A4 entity that are rules. There'll be things that are still left kind of on the NCAA side. How that merges and how that bridges, those mechanics are being worked out right now. There's no question that we have to be governed differently. at the A4 level, the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12, what that looks like, the mechanics around that, there is a lot of work. I'm actually on a subgroup working on the enforcement piece of this. How do penalties get decided? Who decides that? All of those things are being baked in right now, but we have to go fast because the clock's ticking. July 1st is going to be here.
Again, mad love. Bobby Carpenter brought him on in the studio, which was great. But for Ross Bjork saying that, though, that was a bit of a jaw drop. I didn't know what was going on right now, where they're actively discussing this, DeVier, but that's the way it needs to go, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the creation of some type of governing body had to happen because there are situations where you talk about the portal, tampering, and there has to be a cap on this money. These NIL deals, there's things on the players' front that these NIL agents do that's insane. I mean, like a lot of people don't know is they charge 20%, not one time, but every year, which is not 20% really, you know what I mean? So there has to be a governing body, and we've been kind of in the wild, wild west. I love that it's happening in secret. I love that it's not going to be too much influence because the people who have been on the front of this frontier, they know the issues that they're dealing with. We're still trying to understand it.
Right. There's a lot of moving parts to it.
We're still trying to understand it, Tito. And so if they can tell us, what goes into it, and then we have some type of, not collective bargaining agreement, but like, hey, if you're a part of this organization, you have to follow these rules and regs. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I think it's good for college football if that happens. And, I hope there's some kind of enforcement there. And I don't know how it would be different. It could have been different if this was in place when the stuff with Michigan went down. But again, we're now a couple years past that. So Ross Bjork also talked about, again, another longer cut here, but I want you to listen to it. Ross Bjork talking about the way the football calendar works and how it needs to be adjusted.
Football calendar, we need some major changes. When do we start the season? I think can be moved up a week. There's no reason that some years you're starting on August 30th, and then the next year you're starting on September the 5th. We need to fix the calendar based on the number of weeks. We need 2 bye weeks into the season. Could we move up the start of the playoffs, perhaps? Right? You got to look at that. So I think we started class on January 6th. We had 2 games after we started class here at Ohio State. So again, just the overall calendar. I don't think we need to finish next year. I think we finish right around the 24th or 25th of January.
Yeah, the Vegas game is really late.
So to me, we need to at least move it up at least a week, the overall calendar. I think we can adjust the playoff format. Can you have 7 or 8 days in between versus 10? So there's a lot of things, but finding those TV windows, matching up against the NFL, that's a trick. And we need to make sure we get that right because it is a behemoth. And we need to make sure that our viewership is strong and the windows are strong. So there's a lot of work that has to be done. The commissioners are working on it. We're providing ideas. But the football calendar, we shouldn't have signing day in the middle of all of this, right? Now we have the transfer portal. When does the transfer portal fit in? So if you actually took January 1st to December 31st, we can make this a lot better, and we need to really start to go to work on that now.
So interesting about that he mentioned about the calendar needing to change a little bit. Ryan Day even addressed this in his press conference a little bit, and he said that here's what Ryan Day had to say about Ohio State and Notre Dame not being able to take advantage of the portal. Here's what Day said. Then we'll follow up on this, and I'll get your take on this, DeVier.
One of the things for us that was tricky was, the portal was open before our season and opened and closed before our season was over. And that's something that we got to take a hard look at with rules, and people will say, well, you guys just won the national championship. What are you complaining about? Well, it matters for this year's team. And so that was a major challenge for us. As you can imagine, if you are trying to add somebody in the portal, but you're still trying to finish your season out, how that can affect your current roster. So, and then the second part of that is we get done with the season and, Notre Dame and Ohio State are the only 2 teams with guys in the portal for that 5-day window, and everybody else is closed and it's open season on our players for 5 days. Like we got to take a hard look at this to figure out what's right.
The fact that the portal opens and closes while Ohio State and Notre Dame are still playing is a problem for me, DeVier.
Yeah. No, it has to be fixed. I mean, it's almost like, all right, well, is this the equivalent of the Super Bowl team being the last pick in the first round. You ask yourself if you playing in the national championship means that you can't dive into the portal like everybody else can. Is that a punishment? And I think that train of thought could be right, but then also you ask yourself, well, the Super Bowl team gets a chance at free agency like everybody else.
Well, yeah, I was saying that, but that's where I'd like it to. It'd be like if free agency started while the playoffs are still going on.
Yeah.
And you've got Andy Reid and the Chiefs.
It kind of does. Ask the Falcons and Kirk Cousins.
I know. It unofficially does, right? It wink, wink, nudge, nudge does. But I'm just saying, that's almost like free agency window is going to start and end while the Super Bowl's still going on. You know what I mean? Like, that's the part. That's what I think it is like that. And the calendar is, it's screwed up the way it is. And Bjork brings up a great point. Dave brings up a great point. It should, and it puts Ohio State and Notre Dame at disadvantages. If you're a team that's already eliminated, you are looking at next year right now, right? You're looking at the following season. You can start filling holes. You can start decide who's going where, what we're going to do. You can do all of that. But if you're a team still playing, you only have so many resources you could devote to that because you're not even sure how this season's going to end yet. So I understand the gripe with that. And yes, I do agree. The calendar needs to be changed because it's a disadvantage to Ohio State and Notre Dame. And yes, they had great seasons, but college football, college sports in general change more year to year than any of the professional sports do. More year to year, you can make the changes in college because of the transfer portal, guys graduating, guys going to the pros, all of those things that happen. There's so many different changes that take place that it's a disadvantage to Ohio State and Notre Dame if they cannot have the full impact of the transfer portal.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things, Tito. This revamping of the NIL, we won the case, we got it implemented. Now let's govern ourselves. Let's find boundaries, let's find walls, and let's make sure it's competitively fair for everybody. I love the part about participating in the revenue share, right? That means when you say yes and you opt into the agreement, like Bjork was saying, you're opting into these sets of rules. So what's happening is the governing body that's going to replace the NCAA is being formed. The rules and regs are being formed, and I wonder what are the school commitments? Is it a model of NCAA? Like, right, you got to maintain a GPA. Like, what are those things on that side of it too? But it's also this NFL, GM, CBA kind of element that's going to help govern NIL. So the landscape of college football is changing. It's going to be shaped in different ways. Just like people used to do handshakes for money back in the day. Now it might be, hey, I might give you casino chip NILs to keep it off the books. So like the creativity, people are going to find ways to get around it. The portal might be closed, and Tito, we might be sending iCloud messages. We might be airdropping messages. We don't know what's about to happen. People are going to figure out ways to cheat, but I'm excited to have some rules, though, Tito, in all seriousness.
All right, coming up in 2 minutes, an NBA trade looks even worse now. We'll do that next. Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, 80% lean ground beef is on sale. 3-pound packages are only $3.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and all right, somebody cue up the wedding bells because I just hit my wedding weight. Down 56 pounds with the Waken 180, and I officially weigh the same as the day I said I do. What's even crazier was how fast I took off what probably took me 6-7 years to put on. Only 3 months in, and I've made a complete 180. We cracked open the wedding album to compare, and yes, I'm looking the same that I did 7 years ago. Although be it a few more gray hairs with a 2-year-old running around, that tends to happen. I'm not done, though. Once you learn how easy losing weight can actually be with Awaken 180, your goals, they start to get bigger. Wedding weight, yeah, I hit that. But why not see what it feels like, what it looks like to be at my ideal weight? All goals start shifting. Who knows? Maybe I'll start hitting some 5Ks, playing tennis, being more active. Probably not going to hit 5Ks, but hey, you never know what's going to happen. What does your life look like down 30 pounds, 50 pounds, or even more? To find out, do what we did and make your own 180 at awaken180weightloss.com.
The only show where sports talk is eclipsed by food talk. Oh, nuts. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan. It's sports conversation, but with a drink and umbrella as a garnish. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, Fan Sports Sunday. Thank you for tuning in. We had that big trade recently at the trade deadline, or close to that in the NBA, when the Lakers and Mavericks hooked up for the Luka trade. And Davis goes over to Dallas. So, and it was a lot of people, look, Dallas's Harrison, their GM, said that he really only negotiated with the Lakers, and that was it, which seems silly to me. Nonetheless, trade happens, and Davis is hurt right away after playing just not even a full game for them. And now you have Kyrie Irving's out for the rest of the season, and will miss a good chunk of next season as well with his ACL injury. This Dallas team, this Dallas trade has set the franchise back dramatically, in my opinion. And Mark Cuban even criticized the trade. He was no longer a majority owner. He's now like a minority owner, but still said this was a bad trade, and I'm paraphrasing there. The Mavericks' 3 highest-paid players now, DeVier, are both old and injury-prone. Kyrie Irving will be 33 next season when it starts. He's not played more than 60 games in a regular season since the 2018-2019 season. Davis will be 32 when next season starts. He's played more than 62 games just once since 2017-18. And you've got Klay Thompson, who's 35. That's your 3 highest-paid players. It feels to me like Dallas has done a tremendous disservice to their fans. And I'm not saying Luka was a fantastic, like, you can't trade, untradeable guy, because there's talk about they were upset with his conditioning or lack thereof. The fact he, drinks too much alcohol and engages in other things that they thought was not becoming of an NBA star. But it feels to me, DeVier, like this is going to take a long time for Dallas to kind of pull out of this.
Yeah. I mean, you think about the 2 years it took for Nico Harris and company to just destroy what Mark Cuban built.
Right.
Kind of crazy. And just centering around like what the Mavs were when they won a championship.
Mm-hmm.
They had the single player in the league who could mimic what Dirk's run was. And I mean, you talk about Dirk's run, it's probably the greatest run in NBA Finals history on a single win. You talk about all of the people he beat. You're talking, I think he beat Kobe's Lakers. Yeah. He beat a young OKC with right. And what the Mavs were around that international player in that year, Luka took his team to the NBA Finals last year. And you think you would kind of build on that and stick to what the Mavs were. Totally went away from the identity and characteristics of the franchise. Like for Tito, for you, I got to put it in Steelers language. This is like a GM coming in and drafting, a defensive lineman who really should have his hand in the ground but wants to play linebacker, right? Like, It's just like you're going against everything what this organization truly was. And I think it's just mind-boggling to see just the dismantle. You almost wonder, is this on purpose?
Well, and I've heard, I can't remember who it was I heard say this, though, but so I can't credit the right person, but like they wondered if this is all part of Dallas's chance to maybe move to Las Vegas.
Yep. Yep.
And
there are some theories about that.
Yeah. And so, although Dallas obviously a big market thing and everything, but there's going to be an NBA team in Vegas. And whoever ends up being the NBA team in Vegas is going to be very profitable and very popular. And so I would say, outside of teams in Los Angeles, Boston, and New York, I would say almost anybody's in play to move to Vegas at some point if they want to, So But it just seems to me like, you make a move like this, DeVier, and you trade youth for age and injury is what you did.
Yep.
And then you've already got Kyrie, who we know already is an injury-prone guy. Kyrie does not play does not play 60 games in a season most years. Doesn't happen. And you've already got invested in Klay Thompson, who went there from Golden State, and it's just. And then they raised ticket prices right after that for next season. Like they announced they're raising ticket prices. That part's bizarre to me.
Yeah, and think about the deal that Klay Thompson got, right?
Right.
I mean, he's coming into an organization where, hey, you guys told me this is what we're doing to win a championship. Yeah. We were really close last year, and now you look up and you're going into playoffs, and this doesn't look. You're far from your Golden State days. You're far from what you thought you were walking into. Raw deal for Klay this year, too.
Right? Yeah, I know. Dallas right now, by the way, is in 10th in the West. They are 2.5 games ahead of Phoenix for the final play-in spot right now. But with Kyrie out for the year, and who knows about Anthony Davis. If I'm the Mavericks, I shut Davis down. I don't even bother putting him back out there again this year and just say, look, just get healthy for next year. They've lost 4 in a row. They've lost 6 out of 7. And like they're going nowhere fast in this. And Kyrie's going to be a free agent after this year, I think is what it'll be. And look, I'm at a point. Kyrie he's getting older, and he's already had obviously injuries in his career, and he's not like got a LeBron-esque body. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have a body that's built to play into your 40s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he has a smaller muscle belly. Obviously, he has that 6'3" frame, but there's so many videos out there of other players talking about just his greatness and just how there isn't anybody who just has. They call it the bag, Tito. Just
right.
the bag that Kyrie has, and it's just very unfortunate for me. I'm in awe of him.
Sure.
Every time he comes on the court and the way that he can finish and make every shot. So super, super tough rehab. Also, compounded with a super, super tough free agency year that could be pivoting, right? Like, where does he end up? Does he come back to this place? Does he try to build? Is Kyrie at that place in his career where he gives up, like, hey, it needs to go through me, and I'm ready to play a role, especially coming off of ACL? I remember Russell Westbrook's, after his major injury, after his MVP season, his role changed.
Yeah.
His role changed. So, interesting to see
He's just going to follow Luka to L.A.
That was going to go out there do all right there. And then Davis will find a way back there also, right? Yeah.
No, man.
If this was 5 years ago, it'd be a great deal. But these guys now they're where they're at.
Yeah, this big three in 2016 would have been disgusting.
I think so too, right? And so, if I'm Klay, by the way, I'm pissed off. I'm like, why did I come here? Why did I do this? Although maybe it's the money, and that's why he went there. I don't know on that one. But
I had the thought it could just be a pull to try to have some like voodoo magic happen, and they end up with the first pick and get Cooper Flagg, but he didn't get any picks back in the deal for it.
Right?
So
Yeah.
It's just like what even was this?
Yeah, it makes no sense to me on that one either. By the way, LeBron got hurt in the game last night against the Celtics. Celtics won that game. I think it was 111-101, but he has a left groin injury, could miss 1 to 2 weeks there, which certainly hurts LA's chances. Although LA's got a lot more of a cushion as far as the playoff race versus what Dallas has right now. Did anybody inform Michigan State that Michigan's they're actually sons on that team of parents, because they are whipping Michigan right? It's 61-41. Are you watching that one over there?
Yeah, and if you're at home just watching us on YouTube, put up another TV and get to ESPN2 for the Big South Championship, because High Points, they were on a 20-2 run, and they're now up 4. Game has just been so frantic, fast pace. I'd get locked into that for the tournament, because this is for an automatic bid.
Yeah, it's a big one there today. You're right. It absolutely is. Do you guys root for Tom Izzo or not?
I actually love Tom Izzo.
You love Izzo?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really do.
One of my favorite coaches for sure.
All time, yeah.
I think, and as much as you hate Michigan, hate Team Up North, all that stuff, the state of Michigan in general, I hate.
No, I don't. I hate
you
Michigan
don't.
State.
I don't feel that way about Michigan State.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That part's kind of weird for me, because it's Michigan State basketball is clearly better than Ohio State basketball. It has been for a long time. They've had 2 head coaches since 1976.
Well, you want to know? We're talking about players that turned you.
Yeah.
That Spartan head on those shorts and Mateen Cleaves got me.
Mateen Cleaves, yeah.
Yeah, they got me. The Flintstones. My wife's from Flint, so it's like she likes the Flintstones, right? Like, she knew about that team.
Right.
So I got a lot of love for Izzo, man.
I think I do too. I don't know who sounds more like Doc Rivers or Tom Izzo. If this isn't talk, they both sound like Doc Rivers, I think.
That's hilarious.
I don't care how it happens, but can we get a matchup of St. John's and Michigan State in the Final Four?
That'd be so much
Tom
fun.
Izzo and Rick Pitino.
Yes.
Listen, assisted living homes are screaming out. Screaming out.
They would have to, if they played the Final Four, they'd have to change the times.
Watch parties. There's only 2 coaches they remember.
No, they'd put them as the early game at 6:30.
Maybe earlier than that, though, because it'd be a 4 o'clock game.
Pre-supper game. They need that 3 spot.
Well, it's in San Antonio, so there's the time difference.
Catered by MCL, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's catered by
MCL will be there, right? Look, when I go to Ohio State, somebody go to a couple of Ohio State women's games here, like in the afternoon during the week, where it's like, field trip day for schools and stuff like that. Yeah. This could be a field trip day for senior living centers. You could have a Final Four game down there, Izzo against Pitino, and you can have all these different buses roll up where people get out there in their walkers, their wheelchairs, whatever, and find their seats.
If Pitino's in his white suit, they won't miss him.
They won't miss him at all. You're right. Yes, you're absolutely right. How long is he going to coach? Is he 70? He's 70 now?
He's 70. Yeah, he's
and has a better record than his son over the last 3 years, right?
Yeah. I think your basketball record the last couple of years as head coach is better than his son's also, by the way.
Hey, they just won the Mountain West regular season title.
Patino's 72.
I think he could go for I want to say 5, but I don't know if that's a stretch or not. He loves it.
He does.
And he is more bought into not going after high school kids. He wants to buy into the experience and land guys from the portal because that's how you're going to win in college basketball. Yeah, exactly.
He's Dion East is what he is.
He's just going for production over potential.
Yes,
it's a guarantee. If you got these guys on not 4-year scholarships anymore, you got them on 1-year NIL deals. Go for production.
Yeah, yep, and that's the way it's going to go too. Yeah, and the fact he has embraced that, and their team is they are fun to watch. They're not your traditional up and down the court run and gun. They play great defense. What Pitino preaches on the team. Their offense isn't great, but they do have a suffocating defense.
I know it went to overtime yesterday, but they won a game in the 80s. And so they're showing that they can win games in multiple ways with that defense, which has to be terrifying if you're an Auburn or a Duke or a Florida and you get them at the other end of your region.
These old coaches find a way to screw me when it comes to filling out brackets. Because I've got like Izzo going out there. I'll have Pitino this year. I'll have all these older guys out there, Barnes or whatever. I have all these, Bruce Pearl, all these old guys going out there.
Don't do Rick Barnes.
I know, but then someone like Danny Hurley will come along and screw it all up for me or something like that. You get a younger coach in there who will screw it up for me.
A younger coach with an old soul.
That's what I am. That's it's all familiarity for me.
Todd Golden this year.
Yeah, there you go. You're right. Yeah, it's another one. Yeah. All right, coming up next, we talked about the Mavericks. Now, I think they've set back their franchise. But next, we're going to be joined by Chris McNeil at reflog_18. He's on Twitter. You know who he is. You've seen him out there. We're going to talk to him about how the Browns can get fixed. We'll do that next. This is Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon. Even if this promo is playing in the morning, no judgment.
Ah, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
A Tim Hortons treat with Nutella is the perfect way to add a little joy to your day, whatever your day brings. Imagine reading your book with a smooth hazelnut mocha iced cap topped with Nutella, or tackling your to-do list with a delicious croissant filled with Nutella and whipped sweet cream. And when you're heading to the office, grab a hazelnut mocha iced coffee with cold foam, because there's nothing better than combining that irresistible Nutella taste with your favorite Tims. Treat yourself with the Nutella lineup, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants, naturally and artificially flavored.
Hi, welcome to IKEA.
Look at that selection of outdoor furniture.
Yeah, whatever your space or budget, you'll find a setup for outside.
How about an outdoor chaise lounge for my...
Get some sun side.
Yeah, and a table for my...
Come on over, I'm grilling side.
And outdoor lights for my...
Date night on the patio side.
Ooh, you're good.
I try. We've got what you need to create an outdoor oasis. Plus, delivery starts at $19 when you shop online or choose to pick up at your local store today.
Go to IKEA-USA.com for more details. Restrictions apply. Some products may require assembly.
If you're like most Americans, you've racked up tens of thousands in credit card debt. You're stuck with 20% interest fees, and even the monthly payments, well, they're hard to make. It's insane. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. The good news is that there is a way out. AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com. Advantage First Lending. They specialize in fast, easy access to the equity in your home. Most homeowners have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their home equity. That's your money. AFLcash.com can get it out for you with zero junk fees and zero hassle. You can pay off all those credit cards in just a matter of days. Pay off your car loans too. Cut your monthly expenses by $800 or even $900. I'm telling you, the relief you need, well, it's right there at your fingertips. AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. That's 844-394-CASH. Break out of the credit card debt prison with AFLcash.com.
Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Start 2025 with significant growth and earning potential at Uline. Interview for warehouse roles at Uline's March hiring event in Etna, Ohio. Earn reliable income starting from $25 an hour with a $2 night shift increase. And get full health and retirement benefits on day one. Don't wait. Start building a long-term career at a growing company. Sign up for your warehouse interview on Saturday, March 22nd in Etna at uline.jobs. That's uline.jobs.
Remember all the time you spent with the family around the holidays? That crap is over. Put those feet up. March Madness is coming. From the first four to the final four. Catch all the action on The Fan and ESPN Columbus.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get one line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Columbus Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is your friend with the truck.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
All our people are in uniforms.
And our trucks are clean and shiny.
And big.
We leave spaces empty and clean.
For you.
1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus and save $40 on any repair of $150 or more. Only at AAA Car Care Plus locations. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer valid through March 31st. See store for details.
Do you realize making the minimum monthly payments on your credit cards, it'll take nearly 20 years to pay them off? What if I told you there's a way for you to get them all paid off in just a matter of weeks? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Imagine wiping out all of your credit cards. Here's where you go. AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com. Advantage First Lending is the easy button for tapping in to hundreds of thousands of dollars in your home equity. That's not the bank money, it's your money. Listen, your home, the value is way up. And now AFLcash.com has a super fast, hassle-free program that lets you turn that equity into cash. People who do this are living their best life, their credit card debt free, with cash left over for other stuff like home improvements, maybe a vacation. See how much money you can get now. Go to AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. That's 844-394-CASH. Say goodbye to greedy credit card companies. That's AFLcash.com.
Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Are you still in your pajamas? We are. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
And on Fan Sports Sunday, we're going to head out to the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, joined by the host of the Big Play Cleveland show and social media guru, I guess I would say that. He is Chris McNeil at reflog_18 is where you find him on Twitter. And if you don't follow him, you should. Lots of great content. And, Chris, when we talked earlier this week, my thought was, okay, we'll bring him on. We'll talk about how, the Myles Garrett and the Browns, how Garrett's getting out and all that stuff. And now it turns out today he gets signed to the extension, $40 million a year, highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. And when I first heard it, Chris, I thought, this is good for the Browns. And then I thought, wait, maybe it's not good for the Browns just because of how much he went scorched earth on the Browns. I don't want to be here because we're not going to win. I want to play for a winner, all these things. And then he signs for the money. Is this a good thing or a bad thing for Cleveland?
Yeah, so he gets his money, but it's like at what cost, right? It's another side quest here for the Browns that we completed, finally getting him into the fold here. But he did. He went down to Radio Row, and just totally lit the organization on fire and said that he didn't buy into the vision of Andrew Berry and didn't see this team competing, said he wanted to be on a competitive team, wrote a public letter about wanting to win and saying how he loved Cleveland, but he wanted to go to a place that's going to be a winner. And then ultimately he says, well, maybe I'm okay sitting at home for the playoffs as long as I got a little bit more money to count. So I don't know what exactly, his thinking was this whole time, whether he genuinely wanted to win and wanted to get out at the beginning and then changed over time, or whether this was just about the money the entire time. But ultimately, you get, an NFL Defensive Player of the Year from a couple of years ago, a guy who's been just a stalwart for the Browns and, a fan favorite, despite what he's done over the course of the past month and a half or so, back in the fold. And you start saying, well, maybe there's a little bit of hope for this team. Who knows? Maybe we can get something going on the defensive end, and maybe that overcomes the shortcomings at quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
Absolutely. I mean, We're in a world, though, right, where players have a voice and players have an opportunity with all of these podcasts to say what they feel. I mean, Micah Parsons does post games probably before they do team film with his pod, and in the way that Myles Garrett went about it, I think it's kind of the new way to slam the table. You don't want it to get to that point to where it's costing him money. So I would rather get out in front of it, rather than where I'm sitting on the back end holding out, missing OTAs, and then I'm in a Jamar Chase situation. So, but good for him, good for the Browns. Okay, you got him back in the fold. Obviously, this draft is one of the biggest drafts for the Browns organization coming up in the next 10 years. You got the new stadium coming. How do you use this draft to change the trajectory of your franchise?
And that's another piece of this, with Myles. I wonder what those conversations went with. He was questioning the direction of the team. And obviously in the NFL, if you're going to win anything, you got to have a quarterback, right? So he had to have some sort of a conversation with Andrew Berry, famously not with Jimmy Haslam, but with Andrew Berry, the GM, and say, hey, what are we going to do at quarterback? And it seems like, and I don't know what you guys have heard, but from everything I've seen from the so-called experts that are out there, it sounds like the Browns are going to go with a quarterback at 2. And it sounds like it's probably going to end up being Shedeur Sanders. Now, there's a lot of smoke right now pushing him down the boards, and everybody's kind of dogging him. But, kind of those initial thoughts usually kind of linger and circle back as you go through this whole process. And, boy, it seems like there's a lot of momentum for the Browns to pick up Shedeur Sanders. Then you've got your quarterback, and then you've got a little bit of a direction. Okay, now bring in a veteran, preferably a veteran who's going to help him along, and see what we can do. It's kind of grasping at straws because, once again, you got to have a quarterback. You've got to have everybody in the same direction. But you start putting some things together now. You got some defensive pieces that you put in. You put that together with this. Free agency starts tomorrow in the NFL, so you start to get a little bit of positive momentum for the organization.
Chris, is Cleveland the least desired? I don't mean to, look, I'm not ragging on you guys. I said before, I've said on the record, I want Cleveland
to say the least desirable location for free agents. Is that where you're going now?
List.
You got to hear Jameis Winston's take on this. Right? It was this year's Radio Row. I know you hadn't. It's like it's the best place they have the best weather for like 60 days.
Oh, for 60 days. That's absolutely right.
And I'll give them that.
But I'm looking at I want the Browns to be relevant. In a good way. I want them to be relevant. But I looked across the landscape, like the Jets in the NFL, the White Sox in the Major League, the A's are spending money now in Major League Baseball, the Wizards in the NBA. Is it one of the least desirable spots, though, in the Big Four sports for free agency?
I don't think so, because although we dog ownership here because I think they continually make the wrong decisions, they do spend money. And that's evidence today. Once again, you see with Myles Garrett making him the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. I mean, these people are willing to spend. And you'd think that these smart guys that they've got in the front office, the Paul DePodestas of the world, the Andrew Berries, these Ivy League guys would be smarter about how we spend the money. So I got to believe at some point we're going to get it together. And that's the belief I take into every single off season.
But I don't know if because you went to Ivy League, you're smart.
You got smart guys.
I don't know. I got to say, just because you went to Ivy League don't mean you're good with money. I mean, I know. That's the one thing with this organization. I just don't know.
They've got some, but DeVier, they've got some nice looking paper on the wall, and that's important in some circles.
Absolutely.
And so far, that's all it's been, right?
Right.
Paper on the wall, because we keep paying high, like Myles Garrett today. I mean, you're paying him at the height of his earning potential, and good for him, right?
Yeah.
We did the same thing with Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
It's the exact opposite of Moneyball, and we bring in Paul DePodesta to bring in these Moneyball principles, and it's like, where are we implementing that? That's my confusion over this whole thing and where this front office is going is it doesn't seem to be making a whole lot of sense.
And that's where I feel like you have to nail the draft, right? When you're super high, like you're saying, in terms of like players at, their peak and they're the highest paid guys, I always go back to if you can win a Super Bowl with fellas on their rookie contract. The Eagles just did it, right? Like they have the bulk of their defense is on a rookie deal so they can carry heavier players in terms of salary cap, heavier vets. And so I think back to Seattle when they won it with Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Bobby Wagner. All those guys were on their rookie deal. One of the Chiefs' first championships, it was a rookie deal championship for Patrick Mahomes. So if the Browns can nail this draft, if they can nail this draft with the pieces they already have in place, it's a pivotal year in terms of that this offseason for me.
Yeah, it seems like we say it every year, and the problem is, like you said, we haven't drafted well. You look at Jed Wills; he may be gone here. He was another one that we completely whiffed on. Greg Newsome, I don't know if he's going to be the long-term answer. He's one that people are talking about trading him at corner. So. Yeah. Yeah. So this organization, for some reason, cannot get the draft right, and it's not only the top; it's all the way throughout. We can't draft wide receivers very effectively. We have to go out on the free agent market. It's very frustrating the way they evaluate talent because it seems like they do it wrong, and that's just like you said in this NFL. I know that they've done really well with the cap of pushing this money, even despite the Deshaun Watson contracts of the world. They've been able to figure that out and kind of navigate it, but you're not backfilling that with cheaper talent on the up. You're always overpaying for guys, it seems like, and we can't get out of that cycle.
Chris, thanks so much. Again, host of the Big Play Cleveland show and also reflog_18. And by the way, thank you for Tito Francona coming to the Reds. We appreciate that.
Oh, that hurts right there. I tell you what, it is a good time to be in Cleveland right now. You got the Cavs playing tonight. They're playing fantastic. Number one team in the NBA. You got the Guardians just getting through spring training, coming off the ALCS last year. So a lot of good stuff in Cleveland. I'm glad you're optimistic. I appreciate that, Chris. We will talk again soon.
Absolutely, Chris. Have a good one.
All right, take care. All right, that was Chris McNeil. Love talking to that guy. He is Cleveland sports nut. And if you don't know who he is, you do know who he is because you might say, who's Chris McNeil? You know who he is. Social media. He's the guy who did the Browns winless parade that had the parade around the stadium, whatnot. After they went during the winless season, he is all over the place. He is Mr. Worldwide for sure. All right, coming up next, top of the hour. Get you caught up on what's going on right now and what's coming up later today. Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Leases on approved credit. No security deposit required. Tax, tags, title, and dealer fees extra. Ends April 1st.
I'm Rick Reichert. If the calendar says March and there's basketball on TV, it can only mean one thing. Mark down madness at number 1, Reichert Ford. Reichert Ford has sold vehicles to every state in the nation. And we'll sell you one too. Lease new 2024 F-150S TX for just $399 a month for 36 months. 0 down. Plus, you get Reichert Ford's exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty because we're dealing. Saving money is a slam dunk at Reichert Ford. Lease new 2024 Bronco Sport for just $399 a month for 36 months. 0 down. Plus Reichert Ford's exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty. It's madness. Markdown madness at the #1 largest volume Ford dealer in Ohio, Reichert Ford. At Route 33 and Hamilton Road, 2 minutes off 270, and at ReichertFord.com. We're dealing.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
Based on 2024 Ford report for total new retail sales, Cincinnati region. Leases on approved credit. No security deposit required. Tax, tags, title, and dealer fees extra. Ends April 1st.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, as Care grew over the years, you had many opportunities to sell Care to one of the big conglomerates that are buying companies all over Central Ohio. So tell our customers why you decided to keep Care in the family.
After talking about Care's values for over 30 years, I couldn't bear the thought of Care becoming the kind of company I was warning our customers about. I know the two of you will continue to treat our customers as I would, with honesty and integrity.
We will, Dad. In 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for Ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yes! Let's go!
That's you taking another sip of your
Mountain Dew.
Do the Do.
Ready to be the change and have a positive impact on your community? Consider joining the Columbus Division of Police. Starting pay is $70,000 plus, growing to 6 figures after 4 years of service. We offer paid vacations, paid holidays, and health insurance. Do you aspire to complete your degree? We offer 100% tuition reimbursement after you complete your first year of service. Contact the CPD recruiting unit at jobs@columbuspolice.org or apply online at columbus.gov/government/jobs. The City of Columbus is an equal opportunity employer.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Jacob Reimer. An amazing turn of events in Cleveland. Per Adam Schefter, after originally requesting a trade, Myles Garrett and the Browns have reached an agreement on a record contract extension that averaged $40 million a year. That includes $123.5 million in guaranteed money. This now makes him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. In college football, it's a big day for the MAC as Bowling Green plans to hire legendary former Ohio State running back Eddie George to be their next head football coach. Deal is up to 5 years. George is leaving Tennessee State fresh off a 9-4 record and a Big South Ohio Valley Co-Championship. The Lakers are expected to be without LeBron James for at least 1 to 2 weeks with a groin strain, according to Shams. The Lakers fell to the Celtics last night and still have 3 games left on their road trip before heading back to L.A. And in hockey, the Blue Jackets look to snap a 2-game losing skid tonight against the Rangers. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
Tito and DeVier are so dedicated to their craft, they slept in the studios last night. Or they were too hungover. Whatever. It's Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday. Thank you, Chris McNeil, joining us last segment. You heard Jacob Reimer there on the update. So you heard the news there. Myles Garrett re-ups with Cleveland, extends his contract. He will now make about $40 million a year, the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Eddie George will be named the head coach of Bowling Green. It's not official yet as far as they haven't made the announcement, but sources all say that yes, Eddie George has been offered and accepted the job. He interviewed there on Friday again as one of 3 finalists. Good for Eddie George coming from Tennessee State to take over that program. And honestly, I made them a joke before about you being the wide receivers coach, which not really a joke. It's not that far-fetched. But nonetheless, I would expect there will be an Ohio State flavor to his Bowling Green staff.
Absolutely. I mean, the names that have been grinding, that I would love to see. I mean, a Jimmy Cordell, he's been in that region of the country, working hard. We got other guys who are coming up in the ranks that we were mentioning some, the Richard McNutts, the Michael Brewsters, Scotty Sadie Graham over there in Washington. And so I'm excited to see our guys reemerge and new names that, that were former players and former coaches for Ohio State.
I got to believe there'll be a lot of people in Columbus rooting for Bowling Green. You know what I mean? We could say George out there now, as far as,
I won't be.
You won't be,
no.
Which is why you won't be the wide receiver coach for Bowling Green.
I'm a oh yeah kind of guy.
Ohio State women lost to UCLA yesterday, 75-46 in the Big Ten Conference semifinals. I'm not surprised they lost. I'm surprised it was that big of a deficit. UCLA, though, and USC are both damn good teams. They're playing for the championship today. And I wonder now if Ohio State will end up being a top 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. If they aren't, that's a big disadvantage because they the top 4 seeds in each region get to host the first 2 rounds. So if they end up being a 5 seed now, which could very well happen, then that would certainly put them at a disadvantage. Ohio State men lost 66-60 to Indiana. They will be the 10 seed in the Big Ten tournament. See who they have to play next. We'll find out that. Could be USC. Could be, I think, Iowa's another option for them, depending on how things play out. But the Ohio State men lost that one yesterday. Another tough loss for the Buckeyes. Again, they had double-digit lead in that one on the road. But they've had like 4 or 5 losses like that this year, DeVier. There's that one. There's the Pitt game. There's the Northwestern game was just terrible. They lost that game by 21 points at home. There's the Michigan game when you had Bruce Thornton shoot the air ball from 8 feet out.
The first Indiana game.
The first Indiana game, it's an 0-2, but just like tough losses, though, for this Ohio State team. Yep. And although this loss doesn't seal it, I'm saying if you look back, if they don't make the NCAA tournament, then you can look at this gaggle of losses and see and determine that's what kept them out. I'm curious from both you guys. I'll ask you, Reimer, as well. If Ohio State makes it to the tournament in the play-in game, I know the record books are going to say it's an NCAA tournament appearance. Would you consider it an NCAA tournament appearance if they're playing if all they do is play one game in Dayton and get bounced?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You paused. You did. You went, yeah? No, I'm just saying that's okay because I don't know if I would consider
UCLA. I know it was the bubble, but UCLA was in the first 4, and they went on to the Final 4. Yeah, Juzang, Jaime Jaquez.
Right. If you do that and make a run, then I get it. I'm saying, but if you get bounced in the first game in Dayton, you get bounced in one of the play-in games is what they really are. But if you get bounced in that game, would you still say Ohio State? Yeah, they made the NCAA tournament last year.
Yeah, for the sake of Jake Diva's resume, hell yeah.
And you, okay,
yeah.
See, I don't have the same vibe.
You also got to think, 16 seeds are playing in those, and so they get an automatic.
12 seed, you're right. Yes.
So, Tito, what's your vibe?
My vibe is I wouldn't count it.
On the same vibe.
I'm not. I would not. I don't think.
I'm with you. I want more. I don't want to be in the play-in because I understand that side, but you're still in the top 68.
Yeah, but it's 64. Don't kid me. It's 64.
64. That's it.
It's 68, and it shouldn't go anymore right now.
So, Tito, they win their playing game, lose first round.
They win the tournament. They win the tournament there. Yes, they absolutely win the tournament. If they do that, yes, they were absolutely the tournament. That's what they were.
Okay.
Let's see. Jackets with the Rangers tonight at 6 o'clock. Jackets are now in the number 2 wild card spot in the East, so it's a big one tonight in New York. The Cavs win streak hits 13. They beat Charlotte 118-117 on Friday. They're in Milwaukee tonight to take on the Bucks at 8 o'clock. And I still contend that the Cavs, as much as I am a Celtics guy, and I don't think the Cavs are getting enough talk about being championship contenders. Even though best record in the NBA, even though their 3rd winning streak this year of at least 12 games, all those things going on. They and the Thunder are 2 of the most efficient teams in NBA history.
So how do you not become the Thunder from first round playoffs last year? Because these young teams in the NBA, they have these impressive seasons, regular seasons.
Yeah.
And somehow a great player on a not so good team like Luka bounces them early in the playoffs.
Sure.
How did the Cavs prevent that from happening with a team like Milwaukee?
Right.
A team like New York, a veteran team that has players who have been in the playoffs and been deep. And when it's time to turn it on, I feel like in the NBA more than any other sport, maybe baseball, when it's time to turn on, you see a different level of play. How do the Cavs get better and raise their level of play in the playoffs?
I think the fact that they having home court advantage is more important for a team like Cleveland than a team like Boston. Okay, I think that's important for Cleveland to go in as the favorite, as a team that no matter who they play, they've got home court advantage. That's important for them.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to say a lot about
your age. Red Auerbach is not the owner, Tito. I'm just saying. He's done. He retired.
R.I.P. Too soon. Donovan Mitchell, though, it's going to say a lot about what he can do as this is a thing where if he could lead the Cavs to the NBA title this year, the amazing things it would do for his legacy and how he's regarded. Likewise, a first round or second round bounce would do so much detriment to his legacy. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot riding on him this year as far as how we're going to view him 10 years from now.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really thought about the Donovan Mitchell greatness element and the fact that they had a lot of injuries. They're healthy at this time of the year, right? That was the excuse for last year. So I'm with you, Tito. I'm on that side of the table. There's no excuses this year, Cavs. Let's get it done.
So we keep an eye on that as well. By the way, college basketball. Somebody punch a ticket right there, Ryan. Right there, Reimer. Somebody did punch a ticket, right?
Yeah. Get all aboard the Huss Bus.
The Huss Bus.
High Point, baby.
High Point ends up punching their ticket to the big dance. Michigan State was blowing out Michigan early on. Right now it's 75-59 late in that game. Michigan's not going to win that game now, Reimer. And I'm not even sure if it's going to... what was it, 9.5?
They were flirting. It was 7.5 last I looked. They were flirting with a cover, but
not going to happen now.
Not going to happen.
No. Other scores going on right now in the Big Ten. There's a couple other games going on in the last regular season weekend, the last regular season day of men's college basketball. Iowa's up on Nebraska 69-59, about 6.5 minutes to go in that. I'm sorry, 71-59, about 6.5 minutes to go. Rutgers leads Minnesota 40-31, early second half there. At 3 o'clock today, Oregon takes on Washington, and then we get it. Then tournament week starts, and I can't wait. Look, conference tournament week is almost as exciting for me as the first 2 days of the NCAA tournament, just because we have so many games going on all day, and there's, not just the top 64 teams competing that make the tournament. It is actually, though,
I had to say it twice.
I had to say it a few times, but it's like all these different teams in every conference. And, the fact you got Ohio State playing in it and has a chance to win a couple of games, hopefully get to 19 wins. But conference tournament week is a hell of a lot of fun, DeVier.
Oh, man. It's the start of it. It's the ball at the top of the hill for this March Madness.
Yep.
And I don't know how you guys feel. I'm not ready for the buzzer beaters yet. I'm not ready.
There was 2 yesterday. Two incredible games.
It's already happening, and you're like, whew, okay. So when you're getting those in conference champ, like, go back to the Kimba year, Jacob Reimer. Like you're getting those in conference play. That tournament was a hell of a tournament. So it's going to be a good one when these guys are already playing like that.
Yeah, you also got to look out for bid stealers, especially for Ohio State's case.
No doubt, yes.
Could be one this afternoon in Arch Madness. Drake's already got, I think they got an at-large bid.
You think so? You think it's a 2-bid conference?
It could be.
Wow.
If Bradley takes it.
Look, starting Thursday, or it's actually probably starting Wednesday, I guess, is the least productive several weeks across America in employment, because everyone's going to be watching games while they're supposed to be working. Everyone's going to be following it somehow, taking the extra break, a little bit longer lunch, or just sit at their cubicle in their desk and they're watching the games on their phones. I know I'll be very unproductive next week, even more unproductive than I usually am. All right, coming up next, is someone getting smeared? We'll talk about that next. Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. Just freak the hell out of someone. The Fan.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
There's a new way to surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and Market District. Shop Giant Eagle's uncompromising quality at a reliable price with everyday savings. Look for signs throughout the store to find bargains on produce, meat, and more. At Giant Eagle, we combine exceptional customer service and quality foods, all at great value to make the most of your shopping trip. Visit Giant Eagle or Market District today to see how easy it is to save.
Bo Bishop here. High Bank Distillery Co. is the most awarded distillery in America at the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or the 3 restaurant locations in Gahanna, Grandview, or Westerville. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is your friend with the truck.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
All our people are in uniforms.
And our trucks are clean and shiny.
And big.
We leave spaces empty and clean.
For you.
For 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
If you're like most Americans, you've racked up tens of thousands in credit card debt. You're stuck with 20% interest fees, and even the monthly payments, well, they're hard to make. It's insane. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. The good news is that there is a way out. AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com. Advantage First Lending. They specialize in fast, easy access to the equity in your home. Most homeowners have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their home equity. That's your money. AFLcash.com can get it out for you with zero junk fees and zero hassle. You can pay off all those credit cards in just a matter of days. Pay off your car loans too. Cut your monthly expenses by $800 or even $900. I'm telling you, the relief you need, well, it's right there at your fingertips. AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. That's 844-394-CASH. Break out of the credit card debt prison with AFLcash.com.
Equal Housing Lender. NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
It's Child's Play to donate your car, truck, RV, or boat to Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central Ohio. They'll pick it up free of charge, steer you through the paperwork, and a hefty tax deduction rolls your way as you help provide a home away from home for families of seriously ill, hospitalized children. For more information about donating your vehicle to Ronald McDonald House Charities, visit rmhc-centralohio.org or call 614-CARS-HELP. That's 614-CARS-HELP.
Goes to Rothman and Ice has been named the best midday show in the country by our industry peers.
A winner if ever there was one.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Also, Common Man and T-Bone has been named best show at Sucking the Fan.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get one line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Columbus Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Hey, it's Anthony from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. If you're searching for a Honda lease deal here in Central Ohio, I know you've come to the right place. Leasing allows you to enjoy that flexibility in one of their fantastic, sharp, reliable vehicles. I'm so confident that Rich and his team can tailor a lease deal that's right for you. Like a 2025 CRV LX all-wheel drive, $349 a month for 36 months, 30,000 miles with only $19.99 down. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
At NJM Insurance, we like to think of ourselves as a symphony. We start with a foundation of doing the right thing. Then we layer in dedicated reps, whose priority is you. Add in excellent discount programs. And last, but certainly not least, we put our policyholders first. And the reason we don't use jingles or mascots is because it's just not us. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game. That's you taking another sip of your Do the Dew.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It's going to be quite the nippy start to the day with our temperatures into the low 30s to upper 20s, but we warm up pretty quickly going into the day with plenty of sunshine in the forecast and our afternoon highs in the mid to upper 50s. For tonight, clear skies overnight allows those lows to get down right around 32 degrees, but we have a beautiful start to the work week as our afternoon highs get into the mid to low 60s with plenty of sunshine, and we only go up from there. Tuesday could be close to 70 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
We are your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah? The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to The Fan. It's Sunday. We're a sports station, and we shall call it Fan Sports Sunday.
Yes, we will. We will call it Fan Sports Sunday. I did not realize this, Reimer. You probably did. Iowa-Nebraska is a big game. The winner is in the Big Ten tournament. The loser is out.
I did not realize that for Nebraska's sake, because they are looked at as a team that's on the bubble of making the NCAA tournament.
I understand. I did my math on this. And if Iowa wins that game, which they're up 8 points right now, 3.5 minutes left, Iowa will win that game in all likelihood at Nebraska. Nebraska becomes 16th in the Big Ten with a 7-13 mark.
Wow.
And Iowa's the 15 seed and would then play Ohio State in the first round of the Big Ten tournament. If Nebraska wins, Nebraska is the 12 seed in the Big Ten tournament. USC would be 15th and play against Ohio State there. I had no idea that much was on the line for this game. I would have paid a lot more attention to it.
That is actually wild.
Iowa's up 74-66 to DeVier with 3.5 minutes left in that game in Lincoln. And by the way, if they lose, I blame Matt Rule. I think it's his fault. But Iowa looking pretty good there. I don't know. I don't know which team I hate more. Iowa, Nebraska.
It's crazy because it's always tough to go into Pinnacle Bank Arena and win. And this is potentially two teams in a row and two teams that are fighting to make the Big Ten tournament because they just lost to Minnesota.
I'm assuming Nebraska's home arena is Pinnacle Bank Arena, by the way you said that.
Yes.
Okay. Because you could have called whatever.
Ohio State hasn't done it in a while.
No, they haven't. That's one of those places you play, and it's always bad for Ohio State. But there's a few places like that, too, by the way. So, DeVier this week, there were reports coming out that Shedeur Sanders came across as, in some ways, arrogant or cocky, may have rubbed some NFL executives the wrong way. And that report came out, and he's, and you heard Chris McNeil talk about it, too, sliding down draft boards, apparently. Mock drafts, some of them going in the second round now or down near the bottom, like in the late 20s of the NFL draft. And it reminded me a lot of what happened with C.J. Stroud.
Yep.
When there was the report came out near the draft that Stroud was awful on the Wonderlic. Did you take the Wonderlic?
Mm-hmm. I don't remember, but it wasn't in they didn't need to write articles.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but anyway, when I hear things like this, I always wonder who the hell is the source? Because C.J. Stroud, I had no doubt in my mind he's going to be a great NFL quarterback. No doubt whatsoever. And I'm not sure if that's what led Carolina to go with Bryce Young over C.J., whatever it was. C.J. Stroud, though, he's a fantastic talent. I don't care about his Wonderlic score, if it's even true or not. With Sanders' thing, though, it almost sounds like it may be being brought up by teams that want Sanders that aren't in the range of Sanders right now, that they're hoping he falls. I don't know who to believe in this stuff anymore. And by the way, it wouldn't shock me if it comes from Sanders' own camp. Because if I'm Shedeur Sanders, I want to go to an organization that's stable.
Yeah.
Just needs a quarterback. The Browns need everything, right? The Titans need everything. The Raiders trade with Geno Smith, they're kind of out. The Giants need everything. Sometimes the best thing you can do in a draft, especially if you're a quarterback, is slide down. Yeah. Rodgers to Green Bay was great. Marino to Miami.
To the Ravens.
Lamar to the Ravens. That's another great one. Marino to the Dolphins when he fell down there and got with Shula and those guys. But if you can go to an established team.
Bo Nix to the Broncos.
You're right. Bo Nix slide down the way he did. All those things.
Great
so
slides.
I don't know where it comes from because all these things just say sources, but no one says who the source is, or no one, there's nobody's names on it. But Look, if I'm Sanders, if you drop me, if I go back I go to the middle of the first round, go to a team like Pittsburgh for even, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like something like that.
I was going to say Pittsburgh.
He'd be great there, I think. It'd be a good situation. You go into there you've already got established veterans in there, and you've got a strong head coach and a strong culture already.
Or even going in the second round like Jalen Hurts did.
Right, Hurts did, yeah.
I mean, you're right. For a quarterback, it's about fit, just like it is for wide receivers. But I don't think he's those teams and those situations need generational talents, right? Like that's why the generational talents go to the crappiest teams, is because they're supposed to change the course of the franchise future.
Right.
I don't think Shedeur is that.
Yeah.
I don't. He's not screaming generational talent to me in terms of quarterback, and really don't see many generational quarterbacks in this draft. I think I see a lot of good starters, but not like a transcender of like a 10, a 15-year kind of career guy.
There's no Jay Daniels in this class.
He needs to find the right fit, and I'm with you on that, Tito. A slide isn't a negative.
Right, and that's why I say I can't tell. I don't know where this came from, that this comes out. And you always wonder, is it from Sanders' camp? It'd be weird if they were, but if it was Sanders' camp, or if it was an NFL team picking later in the first round, that is, just maybe a piece away from doing something significant. The Seahawks pick 18th. I know they just got rid of Geno Smith. I'm sure they'd love to have him there in Seattle if he would slide to 18. The other teams, like if I'm Sanders, I don't want any part of Tennessee, Cleveland, the Giants. The next team would be Vegas. They've already got Geno Smith. Then the Jets. I wouldn't want to be in the Jets either. That seems like such a dysfunctional organization to me, DeVier. Carolina's already got their quarterback. New Orleans is restructuring. Carr. Chicago's. They've also got Caleb Williams. San Francisco's Brock Purdy. Dallas, Dak Prescott. Miami, Tua Tagovailoa. Indianapolis, maybe another one there at 14, depending on what they want to do about Richardson out there. But yeah, it seems to me like there's a lot of opportunities if he does slide down. And honestly, it was the best thing that happened to Aaron Rodgers, was sliding down and getting to the Packers. He said a couple of years. That was probably painful for him, but still, sliding down. You're right. The fit, though, was the big thing.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick Mahomes. So, yeah.
Mahomes, yes.
Yeah. Nah, we can do this all day, Tito.
Yeah, you're right. We could. So we'll see what happens with that with the NFL draft. But yeah, the Sanders thing. And by the way, just breaking news on this one. I'm not going to play the sound, Ryan. I know you'd like me to play it. But breaking news on this. Deion Sanders' son might be confident. Right? There's a chance. He might actually be a little bit confident. Deion created primetime. It was a persona. I've heard many things about him. Also, Magic Johnson, same kind of way. We're like, Irvin Johnson is a completely different person than Magic Johnson. Irvin's completely different. He admits it. People who know Irvin admit it. Irvin and Magic are two different people. Deion and Prime are two different people.
Yep.
And so he created that. He became, honestly, at the time, there wasn't a damn defensive back I could name, probably, when Deion came out. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't oh, yeah, that guy's like, but Deion, though, you knew who he was. He did everything.
Nah, he transcended the sport in terms of swagger, confidence, like you're saying, creating this off-the-field image that pop culture and Hollywood could love and TV could love. And I think he was the first guy that, to me, was like a superstar, like crossover. Like, if there's no Odell without Deion. There's no Troy Polamalu without Deion, right? Like, there's certain things that he did for the game of football. Him and Iverson, and especially from people from the type of communities that I come from,
right?
In terms of just swagger and listen, man. If you didn't have an arm sleeve, if you didn't cut your mom's pantyhose and wear an Iverson arm sleeve, and you didn't like take your mom's bandana and wear it under your helmet like Deion, you weren't considered a good player when I was a kid.
Did you cut your mom's pantyhose?
Absolutely. And you know how I held up that side? I put a wristband on top to give me my elastic. And then, sometimes you might get fouled too hard and you got a pantyhose below your elbow. They didn't sell arm sleeves. My son he has all the arm sleeves now, but Jake, we had to make our own arm sleeves.
Reimer, what would you rather see? Him at that age with his mom's pantyhose on his arm, or me?
I was going to say, I need you to finish that sentence real quick.
Or me using the Reebok pumps before I go out there with my 7-inch vertical. Me pumping up the shoe because I'm not going to hurt my ankle.
I'll take the or.
Yeah, I think it's probably that too. That's
I think you pumping up some Reeboks is pretty funny, man.
I cannot believe how ridiculous I look doing that. Like actually pumping up.
I think I want to see that because just the ridiculous factor.
Literally, it's like, hey, I can't come into the pickup game. I got just a second. I got
no. The confidence that this is going to help his game is what I want to witness. I want to see this.
If on a good day I can hit the net. But hey, being D Brown, brothers from another mother. Yeah, that's what it was. That's all it was.
Goodness.
All right. Gonna be up in 2 minutes. Lots happening in the NFL this week. We'll try to make sense of it all. Next, Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for two things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
We've lowered prices. You can save 15% or more on hundreds of items like Thomas Mini Bagels, Campbell's SpaghettiOs, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
If you're starting your day any other way, you're doing it wrong. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan. Coffee? These guys don't need coffee. They're jacked on life and Buckeye football. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Indeed you are. By the way, just so you know, Iowa is going to they did beat Nebraska 83-68. Michigan State beat Michigan the other day 79-62 on the men's side. Minnesota is currently leading Rutgers 47-46. Let me tell you why this matters. If Minnesota wins this game now, if Minnesota somehow holds on to beat Rutgers, that is going to change who Ohio State will play going forward. Because I think right now, the 15 seed, it'll be Iowa right now. But if Minnesota wins, I believe Northwestern slides into that 15 seed, which Ohio State wants no part of that team, do they? After what happened last time we played them here in Columbus?
No, I think they want to run it back. No,
I think they do.
Yeah. No, we definitely want to.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Anyway, that's what we're looking at there. Ohio State, they're looking at playing that 15 seed in the first game. To win that one, they'll play the 7 seed, which will be Illinois in their second game. And I firmly believe that Ohio State needs 2 wins to get a chance at the NCAA, going at 19 and 14 at that point. Need 2 more wins to have a chance at the NCAA tournament. DeVier, is that the way you look at it, or do you think they can get in with 1 win?
Nah, you should lock it up with 2, Tito.
I don't know if 2 locks it up, though, is what I'm saying.
But just at this time of the year, bottom line, like, you need to be in the mindset that we need to go on a winning streak right now. Period. Like you need to be thinking that way. And it's time to be hitting on all cylinders. It's time to be having good nights after good nights. It's time to be bringing all the superstitions to make sure consistent play happens.
So if Minnesota ends up beating Rutgers, then Northwestern's the 15 seed. They'll play Ohio State the 10. The winner plays Illinois. And if Rutgers somehow wins that game, Then it'll be Iowa at 15, not USC. Iowa at 15, playing Ohio State. Winner plays Illinois. Reimer, you're the basketball guru, basketball expert, Mad About Hoops co-host. And what if Ohio State gets 2 wins in the Big Ten tournament? Are they in?
So one of them would be Illinois on a neutral.
Yep.
They've already beat Kentucky on a neutral. At Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Maryland, which right now is their best net win.
Okay.
That's a very solid resume. I think it would be tough to keep them out with that, but
19 and 14, 9 and 11.
19 and 15.
Oh, yeah,
Assuming that they're
you're right.
gonna
19
lose.
and 15. A 15-loss team.
Which would tie the most ever of getting into the tournament.
As an at-large?
Yes. And it's tough because based off of some of the projections from the selection committee we've seen, they value quad 1 wins.
Mm-hmm.
And so as an argument, like against the North Carolina, or a Xavier, both only have 1 win in quad 1s, this would give, I don't know what it is looking at it, but just listing those wins, it's at least 5, maybe 6, which is huge. It's not a bad record in quad 1 and quad 2.
Sure.
I think if they get to 19, they've got a really good shot at getting in.
So, DeVier, this past week, we had Geno Smith get traded to the Raiders. Joey Bosa and Tyler Lockett both got cut. DK Metcalf wants a trade. Trey Hendrickson has been told by the Bengals, you can go out and seek a trade. You got 1 year left on your deal. You're 30 years old. If you can find a trading partner, let us know. Sam Hubbard retired. Myles Garrett extended. Out of all those stories, I think the Myles Garrett one's surprising the most. Let's take that one out of the mix, though. What out of those other stories, Geno Smith, Bosa and Lockett getting cut, Metcalf wanting a trade, Hendrickson free to seek a trade, and Sam Hubbard retiring, what surprised you?
The Hubbard, Hendrickson, just when you really dive into that, Sam was supposed to probably depart from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
In enter free agency. I think it was clear that the organization made a commitment to Sam before Trey got there, correct?
Right. I think so, yeah.
Him retiring is allowing the Cincinnati Bengals to make Trey one of the highest paid defensive linemen. I don't think Hendrickson goes anywhere. I think Sam's retirement frees up the conversations for Cincinnati and Trey to make more seriously. And then also it aligns with just the productions over the past 2 years. So it's kind of almost like Sam was like, hey, man, Trey, like, I'm not signing, man. I'm not playing anywhere besides Cincy. The Bengals should pay you your money. I love that because Sam just seems like that kind of guy, right? Like he'll be like, he probably called Mr. Brown, Ms. Brown, say, hey, I'm retiring and pay Trey. Like I don't have confirmation on that,
right?
But just him being a Cincy guy, him growing up a Cincy fan, he knows that the Bengals need to retain this guy.
Absolutely.
So pay him the money you were going to pay me, please.
What I love about what Hendrickson did, though, which is very smart.
Yep.
And he said this Super Bowl week. On Super Bowl week, he said this. He said
he didn't go about it the Myles Garrett way. I know.
No,
that.
he did not do that.
He
did not go scorched earth.
He did a good job.
He did say though. He said Super Bowl week. He says this. I want to help the Bengals win a Super Bowl, whether I'm here or not. If I'm not the reason you're winning, if I'm not helping out, I hope you get enough capital in trading me to help you win a Super Bowl. He said, I want Cincinnati. That's what Hendrickson said. I want Cincinnati, which is a very classy thing to say. I don't know if he believes it or not. Maybe I don't have a reason to believe he doesn't believe it. But that's a cool way to say things, though, to the fans. And like, look, I don't care if I'm here or not. I hope I do whatever I can to help you guys win a Super Bowl.
Absolutely. I think Sam Hubbard feels that way.
I think so, too. I think you're right. I think that's very fair. The Geno Smith trade, I did not see coming at all. Only because I don't know. The Seahawks must have another plan in place. They must have a thought in mind like, okay, we're going to trade Geno because we're going to do this. I'm not sure what this is. If it means signing Sam Darnold, younger, I know, but track record not as strong as Geno's, I guess, or as consistent as Geno's. Or maybe that's probably, it is consistent because he's consistently inconsistent for a long time. That one kind of surprised me a little bit, but when you see Pete Carroll's out there in Seattle, from Seattle to LA now, or Las Vegas, I'm sorry, it makes a little bit of sense because Pete Carroll knows what he has in Geno Smith. Yeah,
and I like this, right? I think Seattle is on. It's time for them to go get their quarterback post Russell. They haven't had a guy that they got in the first round in a very long time. I remember when they signed Matt Flynn. Mm-hmm. He had some good years as a backup coming out of Green Bay and then with the Raiders. and then they were able to sign him to a big deal. But then they take Russ in the third. Russ goes off. Russ goes and wins some Super Bowls for them. They had a bridge guy with Geno. The Seattle Seahawks could be sitting right now saying, hey, if we have Jackson Dart sitting right here, we'll go and get him.
Yeah.
And so I think they're in a position defensive-wise and offensive weapon-wise. We're getting a young guy in there now, Tito.
Mm-hmm.
Could really take this franchise for the next 10 years. So I would love to see that. And Coach McDonald, in the rules of two. Here's the rule of two. You know it. Every president gets 2 GMs.
Right.
Every GM gets 2 head coaches. Every 2 head coaches get 2 quarterbacks. Coach McDonald inherited a quarterback. He's going to get his guy to extend his contract for his comps in terms of how they're going to evaluate his resume over the next 5 years. And, the Seahawks are pretty much drafting a quarterback in the first round. I'll tell you that right now. That's my lock.
God, the guy I feel worse for, though, is JSN. Because you lose the Lockett, you lose Metcalf. No, I'm just saying, now.
No.
I was excited for him when the Lockett news came out. Because I was like, okay, he's going to be a true number 2. And then the DK, I was like, okay, well, he's still going to be a number 1, but you're going to get a lot more looks and eyeballs.
But Bobo is good, too, 19. But here's the thing, Tito. You got to get a new guy in there. You got to get the vets will always be like this how we used to do it, and that time is past, guys.
I get it. I understand that part. Yes, he needs to be number 1, but I'm saying I don't. The fact there's uncertainty who's going to be the quarterback, who the quarterback's going to be. Because I'm not a big Jackson Dart guy. I'm not a big Sam Darnold guy. I wasn't a huge Geno guy either. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I feel like blanking on the name here now. The New Orleans receiver from Ohio State. Not Mike Thomas. Olave. Olave's had to go through that too with inconsistent quarterback play. I think Olave's an incredible talent.
So you feel bad for that more than you do Terry McLaurin? He'll be all right. Guess what happened in the draft?
You're right.
Guess what happened in the draft?
That's good. That's fair.
Yeah, that's what happened in the draft. So
that's fair.
McLaurin
was just fine. Yeah, on that one.
Plus, with Darnold, you won't know what he'll be like outside of the Viking system. That's the only place he's had success because it's a great system for a quarterback.
Yeah. Yep. I wonder if Metcalf will want to go to the Raiders now with Geno there and with Pete Carroll there. I mean, almost makes too much sense, doesn't it? He wants $30 million a year, which apparently the asking price has gone down for the Seahawks. They're willing to trade him out for a second-round pick now, it looks like. But if I'm the Raiders, if I've got the cap space, I would consider making that trade for DK and pay him the $30 million. You get him with Brock Bowers on that offense, that'd be pretty scary.
Yeah, I would love that.
That'd be fun to see on that.
He could essentially play the same position.
Right, exactly, yeah.
2 tight ends, 2 sets.
Bosa gets cut. That saves the Chargers a ton of money. Lockett gets cut to save the Seahawks some money as well. Not surprised by the Bosa one. I kind of saw that coming with the fact that how much he was going to get paid this year, and he's only played he's missed a lot of games the last 3 years. I think he's only played something like 28 games the last 3 years total. So he's missed some time there, but still he's somebody who's going to take a lesser contract somewhere else. He will still be a quality player, but just he's not going to be a every snap kind of player. He put him out there for 20 to 25 snaps. You know what I mean? When you really need him, he'll be productive for you.
Yeah, no, he will. Tito, this is the best part about this time of year, man. You're just trying to dissect all the moves.
Mm-hmm.
But the best part about free agency, it clears up those draft windows. That's why you almost kind of got to laugh at these pre-draft.
Like the mock drafts and stuff?
You got to laugh because it's like, how can you even dare take a stab at this in free agency hasn't happened?
Right, yeah.
Like, come on, guys.
With the Chargers clearing up space there with Bosa, I know they got Ladd McConkey, but could they maybe go after DK?
I could see that for sure.
And just have multiple weapons there.
Or if Cooper Kupp's still in the market, go with that.
I like that.
To give Herbert a true one.
They need one.
Yep, I think I can see it happening as well. And the Chargers also free up some more space. They're going to cut Gus Edwards, the running back, also going to free up more space on that one. Free agency starts tomorrow in the NFL.
How about that? Right, they leave the Ravens, and you kind of almost feel like this is Gus's team, right? Like he kind of dominated when him and J.K. were on the same roster in Baltimore. and JK beats him out. That's crazy, man.
And then
Hats
JK's
off
a
to
free
JK.
agent as well.
Yeah, he'll go somewhere. He had a bounce back year, Tito.
All right, coming next, almost here, folks. March Madness, exciting time, but also a time to reflect. I'll explain that next. Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
A Tim Hortons treat with Nutella is the perfect way to add a little joy to your day, whatever your day brings. Imagine reading your book with a smooth hazelnut mocha iced cap topped with Nutella, or tackling your to-do list with a delicious croissant filled with Nutella and whipped sweet cream. And when you're heading to the office, grab a hazelnut mocha iced coffee with cold foam, because there's nothing better than combining that irresistible Nutella taste with your favorite Tims. Treat yourself with the Nutella lineup, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants, naturally and artificially flavored.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Are you turning 65? Are you looking for Medicare Advantage coverage? Great news! The Ohio State Health Systems and Mount Carmel Health Systems are in our provider network. Aetna has Medicare Advantage plans that include prescription drug coverage with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plans include benefits like dental, vision, and hearing. Call Aetna today at 1-888-76-AETNA to learn more. One of our licensed agents will answer your call. Call today, 1-888-76-AETNA. Aetna Medicare is an HMO PPO plan with a Medicare contract. Our D-SNPs also have contracts with state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal. Plan features and availability may vary by service area. Participating healthcare providers are independent contractors and are neither agents nor employees of Aetna. The availability of any particular provider cannot be guaranteed, and provider network composition is subject to change. Other physicians, providers are available in our network.
You know that project you've been working on? Just chipping away at it, dreaming of the day you get to show it off? Then, when you're least expecting it, cancer. And finishing that project actually happens. I would know. I've been restoring this car for years, and today I'm giving it to my granddaughter. It's her 16th birthday and 2 years since my cancer diagnosis.
Mom, you finished it?
Happy birthday, boo-boo. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. As football winds down, college basketball is gearing up, and fans are ready to see which teams will prove they are ready to shine in March and who will be seen in San Antonio. You can get on all the action from tip-off to the final whistle at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Right now, new ESPN Bet Sportsbook customers can bet $10 and get $100 back in bonus bets and unlock 30 days of ESPN Plus. Download the app. Sign up with the promo code Radio100 to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
I hope you're ready for all the Jackets talk you can handle. Join us Wednesday night at 7 for the Inside Edge.
Sponsored by Visit Central Florida. Discover the real Florida magic at visitcentralflorida.com.
The Fan.
Hoops fans, are you ready to score big and get lucky this March? What's up? It's T-Bone. I'm here to tell you that Bud Light will be holding mini hoops challenges at bars and restaurants across town over the next several weeks with one goal in mind: to send one lucky local winner to Las Vegas, where they'll compete for $10,000. Take your shot at March Madness glory. This week, join Bud Light on Thursday night as they take over Pastimes New Albany on North Hamilton Road. They'll be there from 8 to 10 p.m., and they'll have a mini hoops basketball challenge that'll give you a shot at a Vegas trip and $10,000.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get one line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with AutoPay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Columbus Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and all right, somebody cue up the wedding bells because I just hit my wedding weight. Down 56 pounds with a Waken 180, and I officially weigh the same as the day I said I do. What's even crazier was how fast I took off what probably took me 6-7 years to put on. Only 3 months in, and I've made a complete 180.
We cracked open the wedding album to compare, and yes, I'm looking the same that I did 7 years ago. Although be it a few more gray hairs with a 2-year-old running around, that tends to happen. I'm not done, though. Once you learn how easy losing weight can actually be with Awaken 180, your goals, they start to get bigger. Wedding weight, yeah, I hit that, but why not see what it feels like, what it looks like to be at my ideal weight? All goals start shifting. Who knows? Maybe I'll start hitting some 5Ks, playing tennis, being more active. Probably not going to hit 5Ks, but hey, you never know what's going to happen. What does your life look like down 30 pounds, 50 pounds, or even more? To find out, do what we did and make your own 180 at awaken180weightloss.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Take the Fan with you wherever you go with the Fan app. Download it now, or we'll find you. You bring your lunch money today? Good, give it to us. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
It is Fan Sports Sunday, final segment of the program. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to John Gerber, Mekka Don, and Chris McNeil for joining us here on the program today. So we are here now. March Madness, really, it's going to get started here with the conference tournaments. And DeVier, every time this time of year comes around, there's a few things that I always think about and a few things I always do. The first thing that I think about is the tragedies involving Len Bias and Hank Gathers. And yes, I'm old. Len Bias had a fantastic college career at Maryland. The Celtics, after fresh off of an NBA championship, had the second pick in the draft and took Len Bias, who was going to absolutely enhance this Boston team, keep Bird, McHale, Parrish, DJ, and Ainge around longer and being relevant. And then within a couple of days, he had passed away. He had a drug overdose or something happened with a cocaine incident with him from a guy who, Lefty Drizel, the head coach there, and everybody around him said that Len had been completely clean up until that point and had an unfortunate choice he made. But Len Bias, I think about him. And I also think about Hank Gathers because Hank Gathers was an absolute stud for Loyola Marymount, like a 30-10 kind of guy. And he collapsed on the court during a conference tournament and passed away from a heart issue for him. Those two guys, I would have loved to have seen what they could do in the NBA. But Loyola went on a huge NCAA tournament run that year after that with Bo Kimball and Jeff Fryer, and they beat the defending champion Michigan Wolverines like 148-114. They were a team that scored routinely well into the hundreds in their games. But I think about those two players on what could have been. So that part always makes me reflect in kind of a sadness type way. I don't know if there's an athlete in your time, DeVier, either you played with, played against, or watched, and just had some kind of thing like that happen to where you always wonder what if.
I would probably go Josh Gordon and OJ Mayo.
Yeah.
Yep. OJ was just big in my life personally because, I grew up in College Hill.
Sure.
My sister was a junior in high school when he decided to go to North College Hill.
Right.
And I just remember how good of a player he was. People talk about Derrick Rose and Eric Gordon. If Eric Gordon is still playing, OJ was better than all those guys as a kid, right? And, he had his instances with drugs and he hasn't been able to get back in the league, but I still think OJ would still be playing today. And then Josh Gordon, I've said it all the time, man. I think he was a better receiver than A.J. Green and Julio Jones.
I could get behind that, yeah.
He was just a freak of an athlete.
Electric.
Yeah, he was around that same time. I wish that the NFL had different policies, or the policies they have now, the NBA has now for him, because he didn't get in any trouble. It was just the man just had a relaxing technique that he preferred over other techniques. And so, but I think he would have been a great player if he got to play during his prime, Josh Gordon.
Oh, sure.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Scary. He was 6'4", 4'3".
Right.
And he did everything with ease. Can run every route. I don't know if you remember what he did to Revis and the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that day was crazy.
He's one of those guys, rare guys. Randy Moss in the same vein. I'm not saying Gordon's Randy Moss, but a guy that every time he caught a pass, you were like, this could be a touchdown.
He can open that stride up and outrun anybody. So those two probably.
So with March Madness coming upon us here, there's always two things I make sure I do during leading into March Madness. I'll probably do it this week. I'll probably do it next week too. I'll probably do it both times. But there's a 30 for 30 on NC State with their win over Houston with Jim Valvano, and when they beat Olajuwon and Drexler in that Houston Phi-Slamma-Jamma team.
Yep.
That is my favorite 30 for 30. So I always watch that. We've had Derek Wittenberg on our show a couple of times on a Fan Sports Sunday show before. He's the one who he'll tell you it was a pass, but he shot the air ball that Lorenzo Charles grabbed and put in at the buzzer for NC State to win the game 54-52. That's a fantastic watch. Go and watch that. It'll get you to move March Madness. The other one is the I Hate Christian Laettner one.
That was a good one.
That's a good one, too. And look, that's a fun one to watch because it gets you into the March Madness thing. Laettner, obviously, all 4 years at Duke, being successful in March. And, watching things like that, though, get me even more in the mood. Like, those are my previews for March Madness.
I like that. I like building it up, Tito. And then do you watch the Jimmy Valvano one?
Oh, yeah. That one.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
Yep, that's a good one there. And I brought this up kind of disrespectfully with Reimer on the other side there. Reimer, how do you feel about the I Hate Chris Laettner? You might like that one, right?
It is a very fun watch. I enjoy it when I did watch it. I think I've just seen it the one time when it premiered.
Those Duke teams were so polarizing. Like, you loved or hated Duke. And still to this day, there's a lot of that, too, going on. But I'm saying back then, though, with those guys, when you had Laettner, you had Bobby Hurley always looking like he was upset, always crying about something.
Still does.
You're right. Yes, he does. He still does.
His brother's always mad about something.
His brother's always pissed off about something. And then, but you think how good those teams were, though. And that might have been the end of that era of guys staying till the end. Because Laettner was there 4 years. I know the Fab Five, Weber left after 2, Howard and Rose left after 3, and then Jimmy King and Ray Jackson stayed for all 4. But there's not many teams that did that after that.
North Carolina still kind of does that.
Because they're not good enough to go to the draft.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the Sean Mays of the world and Babcocks of the world.
That's the whole. That's
RJ Davis just broke Armando Baycott's record for most ACC games ever played.
That's not a record you want.
I know.
That's not a record.
Especially in today where Chad Baker-Mazara is 26 and can still play another year of college.
Doctor. Yeah, I know. But that's one of those Duke teams. In college basketball in general back then, it was better because, and now it's not old, but because you had guys. You could build rivalries.
Yep.
In the Ohio State thing, when they were talking about the shows earlier, David, like you had Jackson and Gent and those guys. I mean, Jimmy stayed for 3 years, but like you had that time. You had a couple of years of Michigan against Ohio State with the Fab Five in there. You had years with the Duke, North Carolina stuff, but you had a chance. Indiana when they had Calbert Cheney, Allen Henderson, guys like that. But you had a chance to really build contentious rivalries. Which you don't get anymore in college basketball because now it's a bad look if you stay there 4 years.
At the McDonald's All-American game this year with Cooper Flagg, there was a clip that went around. They put the 2 North Carolina commits that were there,
right,
and Cooper Flagg and Isaiah Evans, who were going to Duke. They put them together and just kind of starting a little banter about what's going to happen this year and all the past is the past and stuff like that. Like, we beat Coach K on his biggest game and like, it's going to be a sweep this year and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool clip, but yeah, you don't really see it often outside of that. I think there was one too when like Kyrie was coming out and it was him and Harrison Barnes, Kendall Marshall.
That was a good time there.
Yeah, so they
good time there.
Still tried to do it a little bit, but yeah.
By the way, just got news from Ryan Baker. Upper Arlington won the state hockey championship today. They just won, looks like 5-2. Upper Arlington becomes the second Columbus school to win a state title in hockey. I love playing the breaking news thing.
Golden Bears, congrats.
Congratulations to the Golden Bears. All right, that's it for us. Thanks so much, DeVier. Thank you, Reimer. Thank you to all of our guests. Coming up next, the Missouri Valley Conference Championship game, Drake versus Bradley, 97.1 The Fan.
If you've recently seen a photo of an older Baker Mayfield fresh off a bender, it's just Bo Bishop. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Make your money go further with on-the-spot savings at Rent-A-Center. Right now, get top furniture and appliance brands starting as low as $19.99 per week in rent without using credit. Only at Rent-A-Center. Rental purchase agreement. Pricing valid February 9th, 2025 to April 5th, 2025 on new merchandise at participating locations. You will not own merchandise until the total amount necessary to acquire ownership is paid in full or you exercise your early purchase option. Ownership is optional. See store for details.
Beds are us. When dreams sunk in, beds are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Beds are us. When dreams sunk in, beds are us.
A Tim Hortons treat with Nutella is the perfect way to add a little joy to your day, whatever your day brings. Imagine reading your book with a smooth hazelnut mocha iced cap topped with Nutella, or tackling your to-do list with a delicious croissant filled with Nutella and whipped sweet cream. And when you're heading to the office, grab a hazelnut mocha iced coffee with cold foam, because there's nothing better than combining that irresistible Nutella taste with your favorite Tims. Treat yourself with the Nutella lineup, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants, naturally and artificially flavored.
Hey, it's Anthony from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. If you're searching for a Honda lease deal here in Central Ohio, I know you've come to the right place. Leasing allows you to enjoy that flexibility in one of their fantastic, sharp, reliable vehicles. I'm so confident that Rich and his team can tailor a lease deal that's right for you. Like a 2025 CR-V LX all-wheel drive, $349 a month for 36 months, 30,000 miles with only $19.99 down. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, 80% lean ground beef is on sale. 3-pound packages are only $3.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's the limited time tax sale. You buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, plus no interest until 2030 and an extra $500 off only in March. Call them today, 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com.
I love my windows. They've got that brand.